New York City subway last year. Prosecutors argued Penny was reckless and went too far.
When we heard this not guilty verdict, for the first time, we saw some emotion from Daniel Penny. When he learned his fate, he smiled in that courtroom. His defense attorney started clapping, and this was obviously a very joyous moment for the defense.
Fox's CB Cotton, but outside the courthouse, devastation for Neely's family as protesters chanted "No justice, no peace."
Jordan Neely's father, Andrew Zachary, saying he misses his son, and he believes there is a two-tiered system of justice.
Neely's father had already announced a civil lawsuit against Penny. The judge had dismissed a more serious count of manslaughter last week when the jury deadlocked on it. New Jersey becomes the latest state to prohibit banning books in school libraries and public libraries, a law signed by the governor. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
When snow could return. 52 degrees, mostly cloudy in the Circle. All clear on your radar. Low of 36 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox from Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 3:02. There are some chances for snow Wednesday, says Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service.
With it looking like afternoon, early evening on Wednesday at this point, that would certainly impact the evening rush hour when you have the most drivers out on the roads.
Ryan isn't expecting that snow to accumulate too much, but it could make driving a little bit tricky. It never hurts to be prepared. Just before midnight Sunday, 2 men took a boat onto the White River to get back some stolen bikes. IFD Battalion Chief Rita Wright says those men got to that island, but their boats floated away.
They were there for about an hour and a half before they got a bystander who heard their cries for help to call 911. But once we got in there, we were able to make our way to the people on the island in about 30 minutes and then rescue them off the island. They were both unharmed.
Wright says both the men were just trying to do someone a favor. And again, Senator-elect Jim Banks wants to see Pete Hegseth confirmed as Defense Secretary. Here's Kurt Darling.
Banks met with Hegseth on Friday and says the meeting went well.
I hope to be on the Senate Armed Services Committee come January as a new senator from Indiana. And I'm going to do everything I can to back up Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon to clean up the mess.
That mess is what he calls wokeness in America's military. Banks added that Hegseth won't back down from anything, including adversaries like China, Russia, and Iran. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman has plenty of praise for his upcoming opponent, the IU Hoosiers, and their head coach Curt Cignetti.
Coach has done a wonderful job to take this program to win 11 games in the Big Ten and to, have this team ready to make a run in the playoffs. It's a credit to the coach.
Freeman is hoping his players will play complimentary football to win their first ever game at the college football playoff. Both teams from Indiana will play in South Bend December 20th. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
The traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Harrison? Looking at northbound 69, stop traffic from 465 up to 96. Also northbound 465 drags from East 56 up to the I-69 ramps, especially in those exit lanes to I-69. Eastbound 465 a little bit slow from Allisonville Road over to I-69. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thanks, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies for the day today. It is going to be mild and breezy. We'll see highs right around 53. Cloudy skies tonight with lows falling near 40. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Got a lot of stuff going on. A mix of local, a mix of national, just a whole lot of legal stuff.
Come on.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
So on a national frontier, Daniel Penny found not guilty of criminal negligent homicide. If you remember, Nigel, last week, his other charge of manslaughter was dismissed. Now, once this decision came down from the court in New York, there were some rumblings and grumblings outside the court from some BLM protesters, but there really weren't a lot of them. Take a listen to this report from Fox.
Out here next to me, you can hear them rattling the police barricades, saying no justice, no peace. And what they're yelling now follows a series of threats that they hurled earlier as the defense walked in with their client, Daniel Penny, telling the defense team that Daniel Penny can have no peace here in New York if he's found not guilty on this lesser charge, criminally negligent homicide. And from what I can hear right now, they're repeating those threats. They are very angry.
Sorry. Yeah, Daniel Penny's the guy, the Marine that subdued the homeless, mentally deranged drug addict that's been arrested dozens and dozens of times on the subway for threatening people on the train. I'll kill you all. I don't care if I go to jail or not. Everybody was scared for their lives, except for this guy. Maybe Daniel Penny was scared too, but he subdued him. And it ended up, the guy, died.
The lunatic.
The lunatic died. Everybody was scared. Nobody jumped in to help Daniel Penny, by the way. There may have been some guys that eventually tried to
assist in some way.
Assist in the situation, but man, Hammer, I look, if I would have been on that subway and there was a lunatic, and there, the narrative is, being uncomfortable on a subway now could get you killed, making someone uncomfortable. And then the narrative is this guy was a subway dancer.
Oh, was that what he
was? A subway dancer killed.
From the same people who told you Soleimani was a poet with a salt and pepper beard.
Yes. No, totally. Yeah, exactly. So Daniel Penny, not guilty, criminally negligent homicide. I don't even know. Like, the jury was hung on that first charge of manslaughter, and the judge threw it out. I don't even know. I thought you were just I thought you were just supposed to throw out the entire case.
Well, that's what should have happened, but it felt like this judge, in what can only be described as an Alvin Bragg district, an Alvin Bragg justice system, was almost poking the jury. Hey, find something on this guy. Find something on this guy. And I'm glad the jury did the right thing here, because it's not easy. Doing the right thing in a jury is not easy. You got to be willing to stand your ground, and these people did.
And then the clip you just played of the BLM protesters outside, reports are that, the head guy in the courtroom said, hey, buddy, it's a small world, after Daniel Penny was found not guilty.
Was that a threat?
Yeah, of course it was a threat. Of course, that's what happens. They don't get their way. You threaten somebody with their lives.
And for so long, people would just cave. But I think we've kind of reached this point in society, whether it's, politically or in society, people are tired of being told what to do. They're tired of being told you've got to do this or that, or you're a racist, you're this. No, do the right thing and fight back. And I'm glad the jury did.
Well, not only that, I think they're tired of being threatened. They're tired of being put in positions where lunatics who have been arrested multiple dozens of times, who are threatening their lives. Everybody on that train said, thank God. I'm paraphrasing, but thank God for Daniel Penny and what he did to subdue this guy, because they've seen crazy before. They ride those trains, they ride those subways in New York City every day.
Right.
And they all said, boy, this was something different. And thank God that this guy subdued the lunatic. And it was not his intention to kill him.
No, of course
not. It was not intention. And then the other aspect of it is, and we could ask Guy Relford when he comes in, Daniel Penny, then I don't think he knew exactly if the guy was dead or not when the cops started questioning him, but they questioned him without an attorney present. Daniel Penny did not request an attorney. I'm like, hey, we're pro law enforcement again on the show, but I do not talk to the cops without somebody present, especially after an incident like that.
Right, 100%. So that is a big story from the world of legal stuff. And we've also got this. Police have detained and are questioning a guy taken off a bus in Pennsylvania. This is in regards to the shooting of the United Health CEO last week in New York City. New York Police Department is saying that a suspect, and they're using that word now, suspect has been detained. And when they found him, this person had a gun suppressor, a manifesto, numerous fake IDs in his possession, and he matched the description of the shooter. Here is Alexis McAdams of Fox News.
Now investigators and NYPD police sources telling Fox News that they believe they found a man who matches that same description of the gunman who killed that CEO in Midtown Manhattan. They found him at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. We knew that the person of interest had possibly hopped on a bus and fled town. Now we're being told they believe they have that person of interest in Altoona, Pennsylvania. But not only does he match the description for people watching at home, he also, according to investigative sources who are telling Fox News, he had the weapon they believe was used in this murder in his pocket.
Now, that weapon, if you remember, wasn't just some everyday firearm. It was a very unique, like old European pistol with a extremely long part
barrel,
to it. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. The NYPD went from calling him a person of interest to a suspect in the last couple of hours. So it looks like, as of right now, they got their guy. We'll see how this plays out. A few minutes ago,
handwritten note on suspect showed ill will towards corporate America. This according to police, and police sources telling Fox News that a DNA swab has been taken. The guy's name's Luigi. The suspect, Luigi Mangione, that was detained out after the bus stop and at a McDonald's, after McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
More legal stuff. Rapper Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, is accused of raping a 13-year-old girl with Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, back in 2000. This is according to a lawsuit obtained by NBC News. The woman, who would be around, 37 years old now, claims she was raped at a party after the MTV Video Music Awards. And again, this is from NBC News. Jay-Z has denied the claims. He said this is all part of a blackmail scheme. But let's not kid ourselves here. His name has always been part of the Diddy inner circle. Now, it's been rumors, like a lot of stuff. Let's be honest. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But Jay-Z's name was like the first one. When somebody said that Sean Diddy Combs was taken into custody, Jay-Z's name was next on the list. Because those two hung out, they were buds, they partied together, and now we've got this situation. And lastly, some legal stuff from here in Indiana. That civil trial that was supposed to begin, I think, tomorrow against former Attorney General Curtis Hill has been called off. The former Attorney General put out a statement saying that it was agreed upon that, quote, the case had no merit and should be dismissed. There was no financial settlement. There were no conditions for dismissal. Because I think a lot of people saw that, oh, well, this isn't going to trial. Maybe he's settled. And so many people think a settlement is an admission of guilt. Curtis Hill was very quick to say, no. There was no settlement here, and this thing is not going to go to trial now. Now, I think Rob and Casey are going to have him on their show tomorrow. So it should be interesting to see what he has to say in regards to being ran through the political ringer here from the Democrats and certain lawyers in this state.
Right, Republicans. I mean, Holcomb basically had him kicked out, obviously, after these allegations came down. If you remember, it was, ethics committee after different committees all cleared him. I believe the Supreme Court did fine him a certain amount of dollars for conduct unbecoming public official. But that's about it. I mean, this was a game of chicken going into this civil lawsuit, and the other guy blinked.
Matt Baer is standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
On the east side, northbound 465 stop and go from 56 up to I-69 in the exit lanes to I-65. And then as you exit to northbound 69, that is very slow up to East 96th Street. Eastbound 465 starting to get congested from Allisonville Road over to I-69. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIDC Traffic.
53 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. We have a short show today. We wrap things up at 5:30 this afternoon. We've got IU basketball. They start the Big Ten portion of that schedule tonight. So we've got John Herrick with the pregame, Fish on the call coming up a little bit later on. We'll talk a little bit about that football team at Indiana. They got a big one coming up against Notre Dame. We've got that and Hammer and Nigel show on the road this Friday. Information next.
Hey, if you're a vodka drinker and you have not tried Barkeep vodka, you're missing out. Don't show up empty-handed to that holiday party this year. Bring a bottle of Barkeep vodka. It's the cleanest vodka. It's local. It's made right here in Indy, distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. Smoothest vodka we've ever tasted. Better value than almost all the other top-shelf vodkas.
Top shelf quality and value, and you're supporting local Indiana farms. Grab a bottle of Barkeep vodka wherever you can find drinks, barkeepvodka.com.
Projects you've been putting off before winter arrives. With Moss Roofing by your side, you don't have to do it alone. They're ready to assist with your roofing and siding needs, ensuring your home is safe and ready for the holidays. Let Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, give your home a serious glow-up with premium James Hardy siding, tough enough to face Indiana's wild weather and stylish enough to turn heads on your block. And the best part, their free inspections come with a 3D design preview, so you can see your home's stunning makeover before the work begins. Contact Moss Roofing for a job done right every shingle time at Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. That's 747-3665. Or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. And don't forget, tell them Tony Cat sent you.
You've got a Pepto predicament, festive feaster.
Who wants another slice of Grammy's famous pumpkin pie?
I do not. I think I need to lay down for a minute.
You overdid it on all the family favorites, and now your stomach's throwing a Yuletide tantrum. Undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can get back to the feast and the festivities.
Who's ready for some games?
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hello, this is Don Steffi, Executive Director for the Indianapolis Ballet. 'Tis the season, is it not? Or is it nut? The Nutcracker, a family tradition brought to life by your Indianapolis Ballet. December 19 through the 22nd at the Murat Theater Old National Center. Don't miss this delightful classic for the whole family to enjoy. Brilliant and festive dancing, colorful sets and costumes, Tchaikovsky's beautiful music, and a whole lot more. Indianapolis Ballet's The Nutcracker. Tickets at indieballet.org.
You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing. That's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your device's privacy and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
And what is a crisis? Maybe something you experience so often.
You don't even think it's a crisis.
Anxiety over money. A stressful relationship.
concerns about a loved one's mental health.
If you are experiencing thoughts of suicide or mental health or substance use crisis, call or text 988.
It's a listening ear.
And it's a way forward.
Fellas, feel like you've lost more than just a step or two? It could be low testosterone. You can get your levels checked by the experts at Low T Center. They have over a decade of experience with testosterone therapy, or TRT. For established patients, they offer at-home TRT treatment, including both lab testing and medication. Low T Center's plan is a personalized treatment plan, not just a basic standard treatment offered by some providers. It ships directly to your door. LowTCenter.com to book your appointment. Reinventing men's healthcare.
LD Smith Plumbing takes on the worst, the dirty and stinky sewer and drain jobs, and gives you plumbing solutions that work. Online at ldsmithplumbing.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
30th anniversary WIBC's radiothon for the Salvation Army this Friday. That has just crept up on us. All of a sudden, here we are, 30 years of helping out the Salvation Army with radiothon. You and I will be broadcasting live from Sullivan's there at 71st and Keystone, along with everybody else on the station.
Except for certain people, I think. There may be somebody that's not here that day, but everybody else is doing God's work, raising money for the Salvation Army. So stop by and hang out with us, man. It's a great cause. And listen, I don't care what you think of certain organizations. Maybe you don't like what they said about this candidate or what they said about this position socially. All I know is you and I have each taken a tour of the Salvation Army, and the people that are in those shelters, Nige, they don't care about politics. They don't care about social issues. They care where their next meal is going to come from. They care about getting away from domestic abuse. They care about having a roof over their heads and presents for their kids for Christmas.
And they care about recovery from addiction.
Yes, 100%. So I'm all in on helping the Salvation Army, and all the money we raise this Friday stays here in Indy. It doesn't go anywhere else. So this helps your fellow Hoosiers in their most vulnerable moments with the Salvation Army. So please, if you can save up, if you can spare anything, help us out this Friday. 36 straight hours on this radio station, WIBC, beginning in the morning and then going through Saturday when the Home and Garden guys just drive the boat all day and raise the money. We're going to be there Friday, so come by, hang out with us. Look, Pat Sullivan's got a bar there. It's Beer Sample Friday. So let's all get together, have a big social, a big cheers, and raise as much money as we can this Friday. And again, the Radiothon is presented by Financial Center. Thank them so much for all of their help. To kind of get everybody in the spirit, to get everybody in the mood to help out with the Radiothon this Friday, I thought what we could use is a good old-fashioned, God-fearing holiday memory from the First Lady of WIBC, the lovely Terry Stacy.
Holiday Memories with Terry Stacy.
One time, I got really drunk and I made Christmas cookies at 4 a.m. And the rolling pin I used was a Pabst Blue Ribbon Tall Boy.
And this has been Holiday Memories with Terry Stacy.
Allison, I think that needs to be a craft corner on one of the Home and Garden shows.
Honestly, it's kind of brilliant.
Right. Take a PBR Tall Boy and roll out your Christmas cookies right there. All right, here we go. Number 10, Indiana. Number 7, Notre Dame. College football playoffs. Not this Friday, but the Friday coming up, the 20th. 8 p.m. kickoff in South Bend. Winner gets Georgia in New Orleans. What do you think?
Did college football get it right? That's what I want to know from you. As a bettor, as a guy that has his own betting podcast with Rob Kendall, did college football get this matchup right? Did they get the seedings right? What do you think?
Yes and no. I know that's an Abdul answer, but I understand taking care of conference champions, okay? Arizona State won their conference championship. Boise State, pretty good team, won their conference championship. I don't know if they deserve buys, though. Like, if you're going to look me in the eye and tell me that Arizona State and Boise State are better than Texas, Ohio State, Tennessee, Penn State, I've got a hard time with that. But I'm all about them being in the tournament. They should have a guaranteed spot, and they should get a home game in the first round. But I don't think a bye is worthy. Like, maybe Notre Dame deserved a bye, but they're not in a conference, so that's impossible. So there are some things to tweak. I'm fine with Alabama being left out. You know, Bama fans can cry all they want, but beat Vanderbilt and you're in. Don't get blown out by Oklahoma and you're in.
Notre Dame, home game, South Bend, but in the truest sense of the phrase home game, the term, the idea of home game, is it a true home game for the Domers? I mean, it is. But
it is. It's on their field. I've always said this. I've been to Notre Dame football games before. It's really not that big of a home field advantage because most of the people outside of the pocket of students that have tickets there, most of the people that go to these Notre Dame games, they're rich, lawyer, business owner types, right? And they're not the rabid fans yelling and screaming. Like when you listen to interviews of people who have played at Georgia, at Tennessee, other teams that are in this playoff here, they'll tell you, you can't hear inside that stadium. You go deaf when you're inside that stadium. It's not like that at Notre Dame. It's prestigious, right? You get there and you're almost like Rudy's dad. You're looking around. It's the most beautiful thing these eyes have ever seen, which is ridiculous. But you see Touchdown Jesus, you see the Golden Dome, all that kind of stuff. It's not a rowdy atmosphere. So I think Indiana's going to be fine, man. Indiana's going to be okay. Vegas has this as an 8 to 9 point spread. Notre Dame is the favorite in that game. At least we know this. One Indiana team will advance to the second round. Because at first, Nigel, I was a little bummed out. I was like, man, both of our teams from the state of Indiana in one game. I wanted multiple games to watch. But in this case, you're guaranteed somebody's going to move on to play Georgia.
And I think fans of Indiana football, not IU football, just Indiana sports in general, love this matchup. This is something to get excited for here in a couple Fridays.
Catholics for cigarettes. Let's go. Let's go. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Yeah.
This holiday, shop at Helzberg and get up to 50% off select jewelry, like a unique engagement ring to say,
I want to spend my life with you.
a stunning tennis bracelet that says,
You thought I forgot our anniversary?
or huggy hoop earrings that tell her.
See, I was listening.
Come to the Helzberg holiday sale and get up to 50% off select engagement rings and fine jewelry. A perfect gift designed with the love and care worthy of your story. Visit a Helzberg store or helzberg.com.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
JMV here. This holiday season, you must visit Miss M's Home and Garden for great holiday gifts and decor. Come shop for fresh-cut trees, wreaths, garland, and greenery for outside decorating. If you have plant lovers in the family, Miss M's has a magnificent selection of houseplants that make great gifts. Now through December the 23rd, houseplants are 20% off. Miss M's Home and Garden wants to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Miss M's is located on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He was spotted at a McDonald's. 53 degrees, cloudy downtown. There's no rain on your radar. Tonight's low drops to 36. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. A suspect has been arrested for the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson.
NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch. Mangione was found at a McDonald's. New York Mayor Eric Adams says he looks like the person seen in the videos.
He matches the description of the identification we've been looking for. He's also in possession of several items that we believe will connect him to this incident.
United Healthcare CEO was killed last week. A civil trial against Indiana's former Attorney General is no longer happening. Kurt Darling reports.
Last week, the judge overseeing the case against Curtis Hill denied any further delays in the trial requested by the plaintiffs. Jury selection was supposed to begin today, but on Sunday, both parties agreed to a dismissal of the lawsuit. 4 women, including 3 State House staffers and a former state lawmaker, had sued Hill for damages after they say he groped them at a party in 2018. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You could be getting some more snow Wednesday afternoon. Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service says it's best to be prepared.
The rates of snowfall within the squall itself can be very heavy for a short period of time. Now, what that does is it drastically reduces visibilities over small areas, which allows snow to collect on the roadways.
Ryan says they expect things to get colder as the week goes on. It could get some light rain Tuesday and then freezing temperatures by Thursday. So you really could see it all this week. And just before midnight yesterday, 2 men got on a boat on the White River to go pick up some stolen bikes stuck on an island. IFT Battalion Chief Rita Wright says things went wrong when the men got to that island and their boats floated with the current.
They were there for about an hour and a half before they got a bystander who heard their cries for help to call 911. But once we got in there, we were able to make our way to the people on the island in about 30 minutes and then rescue them off the island. They were both unharmed.
Wright says those 2 men said they were just trying to help someone out. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We trust Bill to help us with planning for our retirement, and you can too.
This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security while considering the impacts on your spousal benefits, taxes, IRA and 401k withdrawals, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income. That money's rightfully yours. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
With traffic at 3:34, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at the east side, northbound 465, stop-and-go traffic from East 56th Street up to I-69. And we continue to be slow on northbound 69 up to East 96th Street. Crash 96th Street at Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Come see the diamonds at Pierce Jewelers. Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. Pierce Jewelers shops the world to bring you the best, and they have it all. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Tracking isolated shower potential for Monday night with lows down in the low 30s. On-off rain chance Tuesday morning to early afternoon before a snow chance emerges Tuesday night. And it'll be colder with highs in the low to mid-40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gun Day with the gun guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Wilford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there, also in studio. Second Amendment attorney, licensed firearms instructor, host of the Gun Guy Show, Saturdays here on 93 WIBC. Guy Relford, how are you?
Man, I'm great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located right in the store. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
We'll start out with not something that's necessarily 2A related, but something you talk about a lot is if you're involved in a situation where you're defending yourself or other people and it results in the death of the aggressor, wait for the cops before you, or I'm sorry, wait for representation.
Yes.
Before you make a statement to the cops. Daniel Penny, of course, perfect example of this. He subdued a lunatic on a New York subway train, and it was threatening other people with their lives. Everybody was scared. He subdued him, which resulted in the death, I believe, of the guy that was accused here. We're pro law enforcement on this show, Guy, so I don't want to make it sound like the cops were up to anything nefarious, but you watch the body cam footage after what had happened, and the cops were, Daniel Penny's friend, and I don't know if Penny knew that he had killed the guy yet, and they're like trying to kind of in a roundabout way get him to confess, but he didn't have representation. Maybe your just initial thoughts in this whole scenario with what happened with this case that's making national attention.
Well, yeah, and a big focus of what I do, both on the self-defense side as well as my legal practice, is on the issue of self-defense. So these issues are right in my wheelhouse, and I teach a course that deals specifically with these kinds of issues. And listen, to your point, the police that respond to an incident like this, they're not necessarily trying to frame you or put you in jail, unfairly or illegally. But at the same time, you have to realize that you're in a situation where you're going to be all amped up on adrenaline. You're going to have all kinds of emotions going through you, and who knows what those emotions might be. They might still be rage just because you've been in a life-threatening, highly physical situation. It might be remorse. It might be empathy. It might be regret. It might be revulsion. You don't know emotionally how you're going to react. Plus, the effects of adrenaline on people, it affects your memory. It affects your ability to recount things accurately. There are a whole lot of psychological and physiological things going on with you when you've been through a situation like this involving, a life-threatening situation, or certainly anything approaching the use of force or deadly force. And is that the time when you're being so dramatically affected psychologically, physiologically, because of the effects of adrenaline and stress and emotion, is that the time to give the most important statement you're ever going to give in your life? When you're talking to a police officer. And the bottom line obviously is no, that's not the time. And keep this in mind. A lot of people don't know this. But standard operating procedures, standing orders for police officers. If a police officer shoots somebody in the line of duty, do you know what their instructions are? Virtually every department, every officer I've ever talked to for 40 years plus of being involved in these issues, do you know what the officers are told by their chain of command, what they're supposed to say to the next responding officers if they shoot somebody in the line of duty? It's shut the hell up. If there's perhaps a piece of evidence that needs to be pointed out, or a fleeing subject or something you need to do to keep somebody safe, okay. But beyond that, shut the hell up. Don't make any statement. Typically, the instructions of police officers is for 3 sleep cycles. Hey, if you work, third shift, okay, you sleep 3 times. Then you have for cops, FOP representation and legal representation before you ever make a statement. And that's what the police are told. So they're going to understand if you say, listen, and this is a slide I have on the course that I teach. It's, you're involved in a self-defense scenario. It's, officer, I'd be glad to cooperate fully and give you a complete statement after my attorney is present and I've had a chance to calm down. And that is exactly the way to respond. I've had multiple clients in self-defense scenarios. In fact, multiple clients that have used deadly force. Only a couple have said exactly that, and it always inured to their benefit 100% of the time. And nobody looked at them and said, oh, you're trying to obstruct us, or, oh, you must be guilty.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, are they worried about looking guilty if they said, no, I need a lawyer?
Well, first of all, who cares? Because the target audience is not the cop. The cop doesn't make a decision on whether to charge you or not. The cop makes a report, reports back to the prosecutor's office, and the prosecutor decides whether to charge you or not based on the evidence obtained by the police department. So a lot of people are so worried about what that cop's going to think. And again, we all respect law enforcement, but who cares? That's not my target audience. But beyond that, if that cop's been told exactly the same thing, if they shoot somebody or they use deadly force against someone, then how guilty are they going to think you are if you do what they've been instructed to do?
And it sounds like in this case, Daniel Penny was having a cordial conversation with the officer. Don't know if they were friends, if they knew each other, or if he just felt, you seem like a good guy, let's talk here. But in situations like that, even where you may feel comfortable with the officer, you got to remember, maybe the prosecutor doesn't feel as comfortable with you, and that's where some of these orders are coming from.
No, and there are various approaches that law enforcement uses. It's, and again, I'm not casting shade or attributing nefarious motivations, but it can be your best friend. They can be accusatory. They can say, if you don't talk to me, I'm going to have to think you did something wrong. I may have to hook you up in handcuffs and take you to jail if you don't talk to me. At that point, my response would be, you want them in front or in back? Let's go. Because I'm not going to give a statement when I'm all amped up on adrenaline and being riddled with all kinds of emotions. I'm not going to give the most important statement I'm ever going to give in that circumstance.
Hell, even in sports, there's a cool down period before the press conference at the end of the game, right? You don't bring coaches right up there as soon as the game-winning field goal goes through or misses. There's a cool down period. There should be that exact same thing for somebody who's in a situation like this.
That's such a great analogy, because what would somebody say? They're going to say, look, I'm all amped up right now. I would say something stupid if I talk to you right now, right? That's exactly the explanation for that, and exactly the same thing applies times 10 if you've just been in a life-threatening situation or, God forbid, have had to use deadly force.
Guy Relford with us. It's Monday Gun Day here on the Hammer and Nigel show. So, Guy, this study from Chicago suggests that a third of urban Americans, which let's call it what it is, that's fancy talk for black population, more often than not. This Chicago study suggests a third of black urban Americans carry hidden handguns by the age of 40. What do we make out of this report?
Well, I think a number of things. I think one is that a lot of people, no matter, and listen, these could be folks who are just trying to get to work safely every day or just trying to, put food on the table for their families. These could be people, perhaps involved in criminal activity, whoever it is. What it is a lot of people have lost faith, and understandably, in the authorities to keep them safe, and a lot of people have made the decision that they need to be responsible for their own safety. I carry a gun everywhere I can lawfully carry a gun. Anytime you guys have ever seen me, I've been carrying a gun, and that's because I've made that same decision. Now, I'm not going to cast any aspersions just based on that particular demographic being that demographic, but you can also say that if you're involved in for some whatever percentage this applies to, if you're involved in criminal activity, then you may be at a higher risk of somebody wanting to shoot you, somebody wanting to use deadly force against you. So I'm sure they feel the need for that reason to be better capable of defending themselves.
Something you said earlier, and man, it feels like we always come back to this. It feels like one common denominator of a lot of these issues are people have very little faith in the justice system, whether it's a weak prosecutor, some woke prosecutor, a woke judge allowing bad guys back out on the street. I think that's a big part of this.
I think it's a big part of it. At the same time, no matter where you live, no matter how good the authorities may do at doing their job, the bottom line is cops can't be everywhere. And the old saying that's been around for generations is cops are minutes away when seconds count. And that's just fundamentally true. And listen, there was a huge police presence most times here in downtown Indianapolis. Still, I had a homeless guy when it would cost me as on my way up here to do the show, a year or two ago. And there was a moment where I was going to be called upon there to defend myself. And it doesn't matter if there's a police officer doing his job or her job, doing the best job they can possibly do, who's a half a block away. In that moment, I may be called upon to defend my own safety, or if I'm out with my family, to defend their safety as well. That's why a lot of us are trained and equipped to be able to defend ourselves if called upon to do so.
Come back for one more segment.
You betcha.
Guy Relford with us. It is Monday Gun Day here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
All right, the holiday season is rocking. We're right in the middle of it. It is totally not too late to check this year's financial resolution off your list. It's Matt Bear. Hey, good morning. Give Trajan Wealth a call to start achieving your financial goals. Looking for peace of mind in your investment portfolio? Start with a second opinion. Dot the I's, cross the T's, Call Trajan Wealth and say hi to the team. Schedule a complimentary introduction meeting, 317-480-4040, or go to TrajanWealth.com. There are no limitations on the products they offer. They can focus on your specific situation, regardless of your investment priorities. The best part, what makes me feel secure, Trajan Wealth is a fiduciary, meaning they always have to act in the best interest of their clients. They always have your back. Call the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth to schedule your free consultation. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com today. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My entire family's obsessed with all things Wicked, but my kids can't stop watching the trailer, and now they're having a Wicked-themed sleepover. Do you think our internet can handle all of the streaming and memeing going on?
Well, we've engineered our Xfinity gateways to handle hundreds of devices at once, so they can all stay magically connected.
Wow. Are you a wizard?
I wish. No, just someone that won't let a bad connection burst your internet bubble.
Now through December 22nd, get thrillifyingly fast 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract and free Wi-Fi equipment included. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile at Xfinity.com. Switch today and keep the magic going from your screen to the big screen. And see Wicked in theaters now. Restrictions apply. Requires payable split on auto-pay stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply. Currently $56 a month for internet service and $15 for Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
It's the holidays. If you're feeling bah humbug or not bringing your usual cheer, it could be low testosterone. It affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help put jingle in your bells. Guys have different T levels. We're not all the same. Don't go for just any standard dosage TRT plan. We recommend personalized treatment you get with the experts at Low T Center. Their TRT plan is tailored just for you with over a decade of experience. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
As our loved ones age, ensuring their safety at home becomes a top priority. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I'll be right back with some practical things you can do to reduce the possibility of a fall or injury.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Removing tripping hazards such as rugs and floor clutter is one way to prevent or minimize falls around the home. Another is to position grab bars in the restroom and other common areas where your loved one may need some extra support. Contact your local area agency on aging to inquire about low-cost or free installation services. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
This Christmas, come see Pierce Jewelers' stunning showcases of spectacular designs and be dazzled by their one-of-a-kind collection of fine jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Get your home ready for the holidays with 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at only $129 and take $75 off air duct cleaning. Book online at zeroresindy.com.
She's too special for just an average gift. See Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is making its way back to Gamebridge Fieldhouse on December 19th with an all-new show, The Lost Christmas Eve Tour. For tickets and more information, head to WIBC.com.
All right, Matt Baer, what's going on?
All right, Hammer, looking at northbound 465. This is before Allisonville Road and the express lane. The left side of the express lane is blocked. The lane is open, but man, is that express traffic jammed back to East 56th Street. If I'm going northbound 465 and passing Penn Pike, I do not want anything to do with the express lane at the moment. I'm taking those local lanes. Also, inbound 65, that's stop-and-go traffic from 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slows from West Street to Meridian, Illinois. Crash 96th Street at Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Because she's too special for just an average gift, come see Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now we got 53 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. It is Monday Gun Day. Guy Relford in studio with us. So, Guy, this cat named Blake Masters, he is a candidate to become Trump's ATF director. Now, we've talked a lot about the ATF the last couple of years. The Biden administration's ATF has been just a train wreck. What would you like to see? What changes would you like to see at the ATF under President Donald Trump?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think there's a real question of whether we need an ATF, what I would like to see among several of these agency heads that Trump is appointing. I mean, what did Kash Patel say about the FBI, right? He shut down the Hoover building. I'm not too far behind him with respect to the ATF because it has become a rogue agency, certainly in the last 4 years. And they are doing things that our founders certainly never envisioned, certainly are not consistent with due process, or not consistent with basic property rights or criminal procedure.
Feels like that's
otherwise.
Every agency under Joe Biden,
well,
from the FBI to the DOJ.
It's such a good point. And so I think, let's aim high, and I'd kind of like to see ATF abolished altogether. Besides, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms ought to be a convenience store, not a government agency.
Right.
But
why are all those three paired together?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, it goes way back. I mean, and actually,
I'm all in on 2 out of the 3 of them. By the way, just let the record clearly state, I'm all in on 2 out of 3.
Well, and by the way, it's actually Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. So you can see
3 out of 4.
Yeah, there you go. You can see explosives and firearms being in there, but alcohol and tobacco. I mean, it kind of goes back, I think, to kind of a prohibition mentality, which is silly. But beyond that, I mean, ATF has done so. I mean, and we don't have time to get into all the specifics on these, but we've talked about each of them before. So-called ghost guns being declared illegal essentially just by a government agency, not by Congress, by the ATF. Bump stocks. We've talked a lot about what they've done with forced reset triggers. And frankly, President Trump in his first term bears this responsibility, but bump stocks. This is all an agency making things illegal. They can have the full capacity to put somebody in jail for 10 years or more with multiple counts that didn't involve Congress. And then we need to undo all that crap. The courts are doing that. Bump stocks, the Supreme Court turned that around. The pistol brace rule from ATF has been put on hold.
How
by
was
federal
President Trump in his first term on 2A?
Trump got about a C+ on 2A. I mean, what he did on bump stocks set the precedent for Joe Biden to do what he's done on 2A with the ATF during his term. And when Trump did, and people don't remember, after the Las Vegas shooting where a bump stock was ostensibly used, Trump came out and said, well, that's it. Bump stocks are gone. I'm telling the ATF to make those illegal. And as soon as he said those words, I'm like, I don't care about bump stocks. I think bump stocks are stupid. You're trading accuracy for rate of fire, which most serious firearms enthusiasts are never going to want to trade. But when he did that, that set the precedent. and that hurt us a lot. But now we have the opportunity to make up for it and undo all that crap during this term.
If somebody wants to hire you, reach out to you, be trained by you, how do they find you?
You know what? On Twitter, at Guy Relford, give me a follow. You can contact me on there, or the website is relfordlaw.com. It's relfordlaw.com.
Guy, you're the best. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Do not go anywhere. We are coming right back. It's a busy news day today. We haven't even talked about Syria yet. We'll get into that next.
Here's Window Nation customer Albert, what he had to say about his new Window Nation windows. It's great value, great product, and great customer service. They are highly recommended. I say the same thing. It's a Hammer Nigel show. I have Window Nation windows installed in my house. My energy bills, enough with the skyrocketing, okay? If you got an old, cracked, drafty, foggy windows, energy bill's going to go up again another 20 or so %. If you're tired of turning up the heat in the morning or hearing that heat pump all night, you need brand new Window Nation windows.
The end of the year sale, 50% off all style of windows, plus 0% interest for 72 months. And if that's not enough, how about an additional 10% off? Now, if you're just thinking about getting new windows, call Window Nation. Talk to somebody. Lock the deal in. 866-90-NATION. A conversation never hurt anybody. 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, holiday shoppers, got a no-brainer gift idea for you. It always fits. It's super useful, and best of all, it's just $50, plus you get 2 for the price of 1. I'm talking about a classic membership with AAA Hoosier Motor Club. AAA has bailed me out so many times. I've been broken down on the side of the road. I've had my car battery die on me, flat tires. AAA is there getting me back out on the road ASAP right now. You can get 2 memberships for the price of 1.
And that comes with roadside assistance, 24/7, 365. Get that peace of mind knowing your loved ones are safe out on the road. Plus, travel discounts, complimentary travel planning, and you can also get info on auto, home, life insurance. All you got to do is visit AAA.com/radio to get this deal. AAA.com/radio, or stop by a local AAA office. 2 memberships for just $50. Give that gift right now.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Absolute Comfort. Chris Wedekin is the owner, and he says working for a glass house builder has made them experts at heating and cooling.
When the sun comes up on one side and sets on the other, the demand is much larger on one side at one part of the day and much larger on the other side at one part of the day. So with zoning, we can solve your issues.
Make your home absolutely comfortable by going to AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Trump's victory doesn't mean our financial worries are over. Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. Washington's spending addiction still threatens your savings. That's why I recommend gold IRAs from my friends at Birch Gold Group. These accounts protect your retirement from government mismanagement. For a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word SHELTER to 989898. Don't wait. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 now for your free kit from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
We know to contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before every dig. But did you know spraying a white line around your digging area means utility flags will be placed only in that area? Fewer flags in the yard? Easier mowing? Everybody wins.
Except for my kid.
I don't want to mow the yard.
Contact Indiana 811 and white line before every project. It's the only way to dig. Learn more at 811.safedigindiana.com. Sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and aired by this station.
If you have a well, you simply have to have regular preventative maintenance, or you'll have a no water event at some point. For a limited time, C&J is offering a well cleaning and a 6-point inspection for only $845, and that's a full 15% discount for the cleaning, a flow evaluation, switch analysis, pump amps test, pressure tank check, leak inspection, and a bacteria sampling too. Clean out before you chill out. Just call C&J. Great systems and great people too. 317-852-WELL.
Coming up in 2 minutes, when he could get some snow again. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb looking back on his time in office, and a couple of football teams from Indiana getting ready to play each other. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
him a strong person of interest. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. The man captured today in Pennsylvania after last week's killing of a top healthcare executive in New York City.
Good old-fashioned police work.
What New York City Mayor Eric Adams says has led to an arrest in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch says Luigi Mangione is in custody in Altoona, Pennsylvania. He was spotted at a McDonald's and found by police with a gun and silencer like the one seen on surveillance video. Also recovered
clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID
believed to be used to check into a New York City hostel. NYPD detectives will be questioning Mangione in Altoona.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Mangione is 26 years old, born and raised in Maryland. Police also say he had a 3-page handwritten document that shows ill will toward corporate America. A New York jury finds Daniel Penny not guilty in the death of Jordan Neely after Penny put him in a chokehold on a subway train last year. Neely family attorney Dante Mills.
I promised this family that we would get justice. We're still going to do that. We're going to move forward with our suit. The district attorney did a good job, but the jury in this case let us down.
The jury acquitting Penny of negligent homicide after deadlocking on the more serious count of manslaughter. Penny's defense team says New Yorkers can continue to stand up for one another without sacrificing rights or freedoms. After the fall of President Assad in Syria, overthrown by rebel forces, President Biden holding a call with Jordan's King Abdullah today and emphasizing full support for a Syrian-led transition process under United Nations auspices. Stocks finished lower, the Dow down 240 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Keep an eye on the forecast. Cloudy 52 on the circle. No trouble on your radar. Temps tonight drop to the mid-30s. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Snow is likely Wednesday, and its timing could create some challenges for you. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Forecasters are predicting a dusting to a half-inch of snow during your evening commute. How and when it falls could quickly turn the roads into a mess.
The rates of snowfall within the squall itself can be very heavy for a short period of time. Now, what that does is it drastically reduces visibilities over small areas.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the snow will last for several hours with very cold temperatures returning Thursday. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb says he's reflecting on his time as governor now that it's about to come to an end next month.
To think that we have a new Albany and a new Castle and a new Haven and a new Carlisle. It's really a new Indiana when you stop and think for a second about all the new ecosystems that are scattered and spread across the entire state.
He tells Inside Indiana Business investments in the state from entities like Meta, Google, and Microsoft are all only going to make Indiana stronger for decades to come. Indiana Senator-elect Jim Banks wants to see Pete Hegseth confirmed as defense secretary. Banks met with Hegseth Friday and says the meeting went well.
I hope to be on the Senate Armed Services Committee come January as a new senator from Indiana. And I'm going to do everything I can to back up Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon to clean up the mess.
That mess he's referring to is what Banks calls wokeness in America's military. Banks also added that Hegseth, won't back down from anything, including adversaries like China, Russia, and Iran. Playing Notre Dame in the college football playoff will not be an easy task, says Indiana head coach Kurt Cignetti.
They haven't played in very many close games, so I'm sure there'll be quite the challenge. But we're looking forward to it. We're a good football team.
Both Indiana and Notre Dame are 11-1 in the season. They play each other December 20th. It's an 8 p.m. kickoff in the opening round of the CFP. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Hey, holiday heroes. It's a special time of year at Shane Company. As a family business for 4 generations, we know firsthand that fine jewelry is the gift that says it all. From the engagement ring that says, "You're the one," to the diamond tennis bracelet that says, "Thank you for being you." We have the widest selection of fine jewelry gifts, in stock and ready to take home. Come pick out a pair of hand-matched diamond stud earrings or a necklace with a colorful gemstone. Check out our new Bloom collection, one of owner Tom Shane's favorites this year, featuring stunning sapphires, emeralds, or rubies. At Shane Company, every gift and every price range is crafted to our high-quality standards. We have jewelers working in every store to bring your gifts to life. Making sure rings fit just right, setting center stones and engagement rings by hand, and engraving your pieces to make your gifts even more special. Your gifts will always be protected with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The traffic on the 5s at 4:05. How's it going, Matt Bear?
It's going, Harrison. Looking at inbound 65 stop and go traffic from 21st Street to Meridian Penn. That is a 5-minute delay. Also eastbound 70 grinding from Harding Street to the south. Split delay time of just 4 minutes so far. North side westbound 465 stop and go traffic before Michigan Road to 865. The stall cleared on westbound 465 in the express lane between Bimpf and Allisonville Road. We're still jammed up heading into the express lane from Penn Pike up to East 56. That's starting to take care of itself. It's a good thing. Traffic sponsored by Dell Technologies. It's your last chance to snag Dell Technologies' lowest price of the year before the holidays. Save on select PCs that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Shop Dell.com/deals. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Tracking isolated shower potential for Monday night with lows down in the low 30s. On-off rain chance Tuesday morning to early afternoon before a snow chance emerges Tuesday night, and it'll be colder with highs in the low to 40s. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel. Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Hi, it's Nigel. Hammer is here. Drama on a world scale over in the Mideast. Drama in Syria. Brutal regime.
It's odd that there's drama. Normally, they're just
You're
such
kidding.
a peaceful, loving people over there.
I can't believe I'm actually uttering the words. President Assad in Syria gone, seeking asylum in Florida. His regime toppled. The dictator fleeing his country. A lot of rebel forces taking over. And here we go, another situation in the Middle East where an awful, violent, oppressive regime, although some would say a functional government, yet oppressive, toppled only to be taken over potentially by radical jihadist Islam. I don't like Assad, okay, but there are many Syrian Christians in that region, Hammer, and God forbid this country we live in will go in and try to nation build and quote-unquote spread democracy. We've been through this before, and it's not looking good right now.
Right. So at first glance, when you see that Assad is on the run and he has been kicked out of office and there's an uprising, you think, all right, good for the people of Syria, because this is the same rotten bastard that gassed his own people previously when they tried to have an uprising. Now, political 101 here, gassing your own people, bad. So this is the dude that's now on the run. But at the same time, you've got this weird period right now in Syria where, yes, they're celebrating, they're dancing in the streets. Women feel like maybe, just maybe, we can have a few more rights. But after this little period of celebration, what's going to be the government? Think about it in terms of the war on terror, right? Al-Qaeda. They were the ones behind the 9/11 attacks. They were the big, nasty terrorists on the block. So the United States says, okay, let's fund these little JV guys, as Obama called them, ISIS. And maybe ISIS can help us get rid of Al-Qaeda, and then we'll handle ISIS. Well, then ISIS grows up to be the big, bad bully on the block, and hell, you're still kind of fighting against those guys. That's the concern for Syria right now. Yes, Captain Dip, you know what, is gone, but is it going to be worth it if a crazier lunatic takes his spot? Hell, think of it in Indianapolis terms, Nige. Look at the city county council. Zach Adamson was a lunatic, but he got kicked out. He lost his spot due to Jesse Brown winning that election.
Self-proclaimed socialist.
Right.
Yeah.
You went from crazy to bat crap crazy. So keep an eye on that.
I just feel like there's no good guys in the Middle East. No one's a big winner here. It's the bad guys, and then there's badder guys, and then there's the worst of the worst.
Right. Right.
And that's what we have the potential. And please, and I know there's been, Biden sent some missiles, launched some missiles over in that area. So did Israel. God forbid, again, this country, some sort of nation building. I don't think that will happen under Donald Trump's watch. But boy, oh boy, they are. I'm already hearing drips and drabs of the Biden administration here in this last month going to say, oh, we're gonna make sure that ISIS doesn't take over this territory.
Okay.
It just sounds so familiar, doesn't it?
Because everything they've done in the Middle East has been so smooth. Everything from the exit from Afghanistan to world policy, everything's been so smooth, right? And by smooth, I mean a steel-toed punch to the crotch. Here is Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky. He's got thoughts on what could happen in Syria, and don't forget, the 900 United States troops that are supporting the Kurdish forces in northeast Syria.
I agree completely with Donald Trump on this. And the people who took over, the rebels who won, their new name is a new name given to an old group called al-Nusra, which were associated with al-Qaeda. So they were Islamist, meaning that they were for a radical, fundamental sort of nature of Islam that doesn't treat women well, doesn't treat Christians well, et cetera. A very primitive form of Islam. Well, they've been fighting there for a long time. There's also another group called ISIS that is actually somewhat the same, fundamental Islamist. And then there are also other groups there as well. There have been the Russians there. There have been Iranian proxies there. There have been Assad there. Caught in the mix are hundreds of thousands of Christians who have always had sanctuary since the time of Christ, frankly, and are at risk. And so we have 900 soldiers. I mean, 900 soldiers is not who you go to war with. You want to go to war in Syria, you put 5, 10, 100,000 troops in. You don't put 900 troops in there. They become targets. But if some of them are killed, and I hope this doesn't happen, then all of a sudden maybe we are dragged into the middle of a civil war where there are no good people on either side of it.
And that's the thing. You do not want these 900 United States troops to become targets. Even if they don't do anything, they're representing the United States.
Yeah,
they're
targets.
Representing the West.
They are targets, yes.
They become targets. So Joe Biden and his officials have welcomed Assad's fall, voicing caution at the potential of further violence. Trump, a little bit stronger, puts out a statement on Truth Social, quote, "The United States should have nothing to do with the situation in Syria. This is not our fight. Let it play out."
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Israel, they've conducted strikes on suspected chemical weapons sites in Syria. Long-range rockets in Syria to prevent them from falling into the hands of hostile actors. Because as we said earlier, Assad has gassed his own people. This isn't anything new. He's got chemical weapons sites, right? So what the Israelis have done, using their intel, which they've probably been sitting on for a long time, they got rid of those chemical weapon sites with attacks, not wanting whoever takes over to Syria to start using those in a negative way. So that is a little bit of a powder keg summed up in just a couple of minutes. All right, Nige, I think we all know that Politico is just a left-wing liberal rag.
No.
I lost all respect. Not that I had much for it, but I lost all respect for Politico when they decided to talk about the sexual assault against an Indiana woman serving her country who was running for office. If you remember, I believe it was Ruth Green. She was running for a congressional seat from the South Bend area, and Frank Mervan was the opponent, the incumbent. And Politico basically ran cover for Mervan. They put out a story outing her sexual assault against her wishes. She told them, please, this is humiliating. I don't want you to do this. But Politico did it anyway. Politico, some of their staff writers, Adam Wren and others, ran with that story against her wishes. So at that point, to me, Politico was dead. It's absolutely dead. But this headline here should tell you how far their heads have been stuck up their rear ends, right? This is something we've all known for a while. Quote, Joe Biden shrinks from the view ahead of Trump's return to Washington. With 42 days left in office, Biden avoids unscripted moments or press questions.
Now, you said The View. You don't mean like Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg.
No, not that
Okay.
view. The view of
just-
the public.
Yeah,
Like,
out of view.
we've all known that Joe Biden avoids unscripted moments. Hell, the few times that he does speak to the press, he has a pre-screened list of people to call on.
Yeah.
And because he's stupid, he says that out loud.
And then he'll say, "Oh, they're gonna yell at me. I'll get in trouble if I go past the allotted time or if I keep on taking questions." Who's they? You're the president.
So Politico is just now reporting that Biden ducks the press and isn't around and seems pretty checked out. Don Jr., your thoughts?
No shit. Who could have seen that coming? I had no idea.
Like, Politico is literally the last people alive to realize this.
They're all ducking the press, including Kamala Harris, his vice president.
Real quick before we hit Matt Bear's traffic, can we get a round of applause for friend of the show, Joey Chestnut, who won the shrimp eating contest again at the Big Ten Championship contest from St. Elmo's.
He was here on Friday, and he was feeling good, looking good. The past couple of years hasn't turned out so well for him at that shrimp eating contest.
Right.
And he was competing against some of the best in the world again, the guy that won the Nathan's hot dog eating championship, which Joey Chestnut was not a part of earlier this year because of some controversy or
Sponsorship.
Yeah, sponsorships and stuff like that. Glad to see hometown hero, favorite, honorary Hoosier Joey Chestnut coming out victorious.
So he had 8 minutes to eat as much shrimp as he could. He ate 21 pounds of St. Elmo's shrimp cocktail with the hot sauce, all caked on it. 21 pounds in 8 minutes.
See, built up an immunity to the hot sauce, to the cocktail sauce. I don't understand that aspect of it.
Man.
21 pounds of shrimp is a lot of shrimp, but you add in the mix the St. Elmo stuff? Are you kidding me?
Which it's fire. It's so good, but it's fire. 21 pounds in 8 minutes, and that is good for a world record. So not only did he get the championship back, he set a world record. So again, 2 thumbs up to friend of the show, Joey Chestnut. And last thing in regards to the Big Ten tournament, the championship that was here, Oregon against Penn State, that was the championship game downtown. I hope all the fans had a good time. It was a good game, actually. Oregon beat Penn State by a touchdown, but Penn State was hanging in there.
Yeah, they kept on coming back. They were down by a few touchdowns. They kept on coming back.
Yeah,
It was fun.
Oregon is the #1 team in the country. They're unbeaten, but Penn State gave them everything they wanted. But here's my problem. After the game, during the press conference, Penn State's head coach, James Franklin, was kind of ripping on the way the city of Indianapolis puts on the press conferences after the game. Because I'm going to play you the audio here. When he's trying to do his losers press conference, you can hear the Oregon band playing. Now, the Oregon band's pretty loud, right? But Franklin melts down because of it.
We can start right here in the front row.
How's this a smart setup?
Yeah. We can hang tight for just a second. We'll try to get that audio turned down next door.
How would you do that?
I got no issue with them celebrating, but this is kind of a JV setup.
Kind of a JV setup. First of all, the Oregon band, they've got the right to play the fight song, right? Listen, college bands are loud, and Oregon brings a big band.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about 5 or 6 guys in a pep band like you'd see at a high school game. It's a big-ass band, so they're going to be loud. And who the hell is Penn State to say something's JV here? This is a city that's hosted the Super Bowl. We host the Final Four on the regular. Yeah. Meanwhile, big game James there, James Franklin, you're 1-14 against top 5 opponents. 1-14. 3-19 against top 10 opponents, and you're 4-17 against Michigan and Ohio State.
Oh, you've got numbers.
So if anybody
You've got stats.
knows anything about being JV, it's, quote, Big Game James and his sad-ass group of Penn State Nittany Lions. Bite me, James.
Yeah!
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
North side, westbound 465, stop and go traffic 31 over to 865. Northbound lanes also slow from 86th Street up to 865. Hendricks County, this is a crash. It's at County Road 900 East to 100 North there and near the roundabout, just north of the roundabout. In fact, somebody drove into a house. So that's going to be busy for a while. Please avoid if you can. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Matt, did I hear you just very casually, very nonchalant say somebody drove into a house?
Yeah, it's like it happens every day. Somebody drove. Yeah, that's
It's like Penn State losing a big game. It happens all the time. Big Game James, right?
Big Game James out in Hendricks County today.
53 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Jump on the YouTube feed, hit like. Man, you guys got a little work to do today, okay? We got to get about 65 people to hit that like button to get us to 100. So come on now, help us out. We're working for you. Are you okay with this? As a little bit later on, we've got some Moonshine Monday a little bit later on. But up next, is this anything?
Hey, guys, if you're feeling tired, have lost the sense of urgency and motivation and drive, and you're gaining weight and notice the loss of muscle mass, it's not just the cold weather. It's not just the holidays, this time of year. These are all signs of low T, low testosterone. Don't wait to find out. Low T Center, they make it easy to get your levels checked. It's just a simple test. And they got an on-site lab. You'll get the results back right there, quick and easy. And then the specialists at Low T will start you on a unique, specific program designed and tailored for your needs.
If your goal is to lose some weight in 2025, check out the Low T Center. You can get your health evaluated and possibly get prescription weight loss medications, GLP-1 weight loss medications. The Low T Center really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. You can get sleep apnea looked at. You can get treated for some cancers. And, of course, testosterone self-inject treatments that ship directly to your home. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We trust Bill to help us with planning for our retirement, and you can too.
This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security while considering the impacts on your spousal benefits, taxes, IRA and 401k withdrawals, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income. That money's rightfully yours. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
When you have a fire emergency, you need a restoration company you can trust to put everything back together. Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I know. I've relied on Michaelis after a fire at my home. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Richard, what makes Michaelis the right call if you have a fire?
Michaelis is local and family owned. We are your neighbors, 39 years of experience, and we'll respond 24/7, 365. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified. We will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I've lived it. Michaelis was on the scene at my home before the firefighters had even rolled up their hoses. They asked me about calling a restoration company. I told them I had Michaelis. They told me Michaelis was the real deal. You help with insurance, too?
Yes, we'll work through the insurance process to give you peace of mind.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
You've got a Pepto predicament, festive feaster.
Who wants another slice of Grammy's famous pumpkin pie?
I
do
not. I think I need to lay down for a minute. You overdid it on all the family favorites, and now your stomach's throwing a Yuletide tantrum. Undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can get back to the feast and the festivities.
Who's ready for some games?
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
See the diamonds at Pierce Jewelers. Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Get Your Sparkle On jewelry store.
Hammer and Nigel presents
Is.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Do it.
Big Nige.
Yeah.
Is this anything? Parents in Texas are upset after being told by the school that their kids were punished and had their bathroom privileges taken away. Here's one of the kids and their mom talking about how it all went down.
Miss Barrera took it away from us, and my friends need to go potty really bad. Some people were crying to death to go to the bathroom.
So initially we were told 2. After we, as parents, got into a group and started talking more, it has come down to there's about 6 who actually soiled themselves and had accidents.
Yeah, Miss Barrera, whoever that is, needs to be fired. I would, if that were my kid and they soiled themselves because the teacher wouldn't let them go to the bathroom, there would be a lawsuit. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. I just am passionate about my kids' access to the facilities.
Right.
In terms of relieving themselves. Kids got to go to the bathroom during the day. Their bladders aren't that big.
Right.
And I can't imagine why. Reading this story, something about the kids lost the bathroom pass.
Now, I get how that could happen. The old stories that the coupon lady would tell me, because she worked as a teacher for a while, right? Like some of these kids, and let's be honest, there are bad kids. They'd say they have to go to the bathroom, but they'd end up running the halls, and they end up smoking or going to fight somebody or ridiculous stuff. So the class has to say, well, because some of you can't control yourselves, we have to eliminate bathroom breaks.
I just don't think that's one of those things where you can punish the entire class for the actions of a few bad individuals, because there's going to be kids in elementary school. You just heard that eyewitness testimony that poor little girl, some kids soiled themselves, and then the parents said that as well. I'd be looking for heads on a platter, figuratively.
Right.
Okay. I'm just saying that I would be apoplectic if my son or daughter was not able to go to the bathroom when they needed to and they had to soil themselves. And then the kids, you read deep into the story, there was other kids laughing at them in the classroom.
Right.
Nope. Sorry. You're done.
Now, as these kids get older, and if you have a teacher that takes that approach, hey, some of you guys are going to smoke, some of you are smoking weed or vaping or whatever it is, no bathroom breaks. Teachers have been fired for this because as these kids get older, you have girls who have girl-related issues, right?
Of course.
Not necessarily having to go pee, but female stuff happening. And the last thing they want is to have that in the classroom, right? How humiliating would that be if you go through your clothes?
I can't even imagine.
So, yeah, it's something teachers are just going to have to deal with. And if you've got a problem student that you don't think is going to make good decisions in the bathroom, figure out some sort of way to keep an eye on them. I don't know if it's the school resource officer or what, but you can't just not let kids go to the bathroom. I'm with you. Last one here, Nige. Is this anything? A Florida man says that Delta Airlines burned his golf bag and golf clubs inside that were worth $4,000.
What?
John Andre's claim was initially declined, but when Delta heard he was talking to the press, they kind of changed their tune and they paid him in full for his golf clubs.
Then I realized when it came around again, oh my God, these are my clubs. The freight guy said they dragged it. Of course, they wore through the protective covering. Then they started to spark. Then it caught everything on fire. We have to make it right. And in that case, that means writing a check for the value of the clubs. That's all we're asking for. We got a phone call from Delta, and miracle of miracles, they apologize, and they're going to pay the claim in full.
Good. Why is it always the default of these gigantic companies? Oh, no, we're going to initially decline. It was obviously their fault. He said the airline dragged the golf clubs somehow on the concrete so much that it caused sparks and things, and they $4,000 worth of golf clubs burned up. And then again, it's always the default. Oh, no, we're going to decline this. And then all of a sudden, you said it in the setup there that the guy was like talking to the press. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, we'll take care of that.
Yeah, the press still has a powerful pull. People hate to be shamed publicly, right? So that's why always remember, if you get somebody with the last name Laskowski, Lemons, or Hammer on your account, you better do our jobs right, because if not, hell to pay, baby.
Yeah.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
I mean, you got to love Barkeep Vodka. They're local. They use corn distilled from Indiana farmers, and they use this compression filtering process. It reduces all the bite and the burn and the aftertaste, and literally the smoothest vodka we've ever had on the show. Barkeep Vodka, better value than almost all the other top-shelf vodkas.
Enjoy top-shelf quality and value while supporting local Indiana farms. Grab a bottle today, barkeepvodka.com, sold wherever you get your spirits, barkeepvodka.com.
It's starting to be fall in Indiana, the perfect time to tackle home projects you've been putting off before winter arrives. With Moss Roofing by your side, you don't have to do it alone. They're ready to assist with your roofing and siding needs, ensuring your home is safe and ready for the holidays. Let Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, give your home a serious glow-up with premium James Hardy siding, tough enough to face Indiana's wild weather and stylish enough to turn heads on your block. And the best part, their free inspections come with a 3D design preview, so you could see your home's stunning makeover before the work begins. Contact Moss Roofing for a job done right every single time at Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. That's 747-3665. Or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. And don't forget, tell them Tony Cat sent you.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Festive Feaster.
Who wants another slice of Grammy's famous pumpkin pie? I
do not. I think I need to lay down for a minute.
You overdid it on all the family favorites, and now your stomach's throwing a Yuletide tantrum. Undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can get back to the feast and the festivities.
Who's ready for some games?
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Tech scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
More snow could be in the cards. Cloudy 52 degrees downtown. There's nothing of concern in your radar. Low of 36 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox from Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 434. Snow could show up this week as early as Wednesday night when you're trying to drive home from work. Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service says be prepared.
The rates of snowfall within the squall itself can be very heavy for a short period of time. Now, what that does is it drastically reduces visibilities over small areas, which allows snow to collect on the roadways.
Ryan says it's only going to get colder as the week goes on. Temperatures could be below freezing Wednesday and Thursday. A suspect was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania today for the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
The information we're getting from Altoona is that the gun appears to be a ghost gun, may have been made on a 3D printer. The capability of firing a 9mm round, obviously that will come out during our ballistics testing.
NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kinney, the suspect, Luigi Mangione, was arrested after a McDonald's employee recognized him and called the cops. Members of Congress are reacting to President-elect Trump's pledge to pardon January 6th protesters. Fox's Ryan Schmelz reports.
Senator John Cornyn of Texas says what President-elect Trump does with his pardons is his prerogative.
President Biden undermined the public confidence in the pardon power of the presidency by pardoning his own son after years saying he would not do so.
During an interview with NBC's Meet the Press, the president-elect says he plans to pardon some protesters arrested on January 6, saying many of them are in a, quote, filthy, disgusting place that shouldn't even be allowed to be open. Sarah Longwell with Accountable GOP, a group representing former Trump voters who no longer support him, calls the move vile and says the protesters, quote, violently attacked the Capitol and assaulted police officers. Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Eric Holcomb is reflecting on his time as Indiana governor, as that's about to come to an end. He tells Inside Indiana Business.
We've always been, obviously, a powerhouse when it comes to ag and ag biotech and life sciences and advanced manufacturing.
But now he says he can't wait to see what Indiana can evolve into by 2030 and even 2040. A tough day in the market to start the week. The Dow dropping by 240 points to close at 44,401. The Nasdaq slipped by 123, finishing at 19,736. And the S&P 500 dropped by 37, closing the day at 6,052. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:36.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
With traffic at 4:37, here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, Harrison southbound 65, 70 at St. Clair. Just after the north split, we have a breakdown in the right lane causing slow traffic back to the north split. Southbound 65, stop and go from MLK down to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow at west. The stall cleared on northbound 465 after I-69 express lane is good to go for your trip home. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Come see the diamonds at Pierce Jewelers. Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. Pierce Jewelers shops the world to bring you the best, and they have it all. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Tracking isolated shower potential for Monday night with lows down in the low 30s. On-off rain chance Tuesday morning to early afternoon before a snow chance emerges Tuesday night, and it'll be colder with highs in the low 40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Yes, I'm a mess with an S on my chest.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
Notre Dame apologist and one part of the wake-up call with KB and Andy.
Oh, no.
Kevin Bowen joins us. All right, here we go, man. Number 7, Notre Dame hosting number 10, Indiana. When you saw the matchup, KB, what popped in your mind?
Boy, Notre Dame apologies. I can't think of anything worse to be introduced as in my history of making appearances on shows. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of an emotional, torn nature to this matchup, given more of my family than anything. For those unfamiliar, I am a die-hard Notre Dame fan. I've been that way really since I came out of the womb, and married into an Indiana family. And I mean, yes, I did go to IU, but as I tell many people, just because I was too dumb enough and too poor to go to Notre Dame doesn't mean I'm going to stop cheering for them. So, yeah, my allegiance will firmly be with the Irish coming up a week from Friday. And I know for the majority of your listening audience and again, my family, I'll be on a bit of an island.
So matchup-wise, Las Vegas kind of views this anywhere between an 8 to a 9-point game. Notre Dame is obviously the favorite. It's a night game in South Bend. Sounds like it's going to be pretty cold, at least looking at the forecast, a couple weeks out here. Matchup-wise, man, I like Indiana's quarterback better than Notre Dame's. I like Indiana's coach better than Notre Dame's. Does that have any sort of play in these two banging heads here?
No, I trust me, I was surprised to see the line as big as it was. I don't think it's going to be some hostile hornet net environment that, maybe Ohio State was at times for Indiana. I think there'll be a good amount of IU fans there. If you look at the secondary ticket market, it is amazing how expensive tickets are, especially when you compare them to other teams. Notre Dame has relied on a great run game all year long, and they're starting running back deal with a knee injury, so that's a big question mark for them. And they've relied on a ton of turnovers, and Indiana has been terrific in that area. So I thought the line would be like maybe cut that in half. I thought maybe around 4 is kind of what I thought it would be. I still think Notre Dame's defense is very good, but they have played with a little bit of fire. They have some key injuries on both sides of the ball. Their kicking game is a major red flag. And while IU certainly has not played a very vaunted schedule, I'm not going to sit here and act like Notre Dame has played some unbelievable schedule either. So, yeah, I was a little surprised to see the line as big as it was.
And talk a little bit about Notre Dame at home, because I'm glad you bring that up, because I've been to a couple Notre Dame games in South Bend, and it's different than, say, going to Neyland Stadium at Tennessee. It just is, because it feels like at Notre Dame games, yes, every seat is sold out. It's pageantry, it's Touchdown Jesus, it's all that kind of stuff. It's the fight song. But the crowd, it's like rich alumni guys. It's rich business owners that have the seats, as opposed to drunken hillbillies like me all singing Rocky Top. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and as someone that has been to Rocky Top last year, I would agree with that. It's a little wine and cheesy, if I must say. Now, I do think in some of these bigger games, like Ohio State last year, I was fortunate to go to, that was a pretty raucous environment. So my hope as a Notre Dame fan is that is what will be the case. I mean, this is still an inaugural thing, first time in, obviously school history, college football history, all of those things. Maybe the blue-collar Mishawaka season ticket, holders can be showing out in droves there. But again, the secondary ticket market, guys, I don't know if you've looked. I mean, it is unreal. I mean, we're talking $1,000, the cheapest ticket. I've seen $1,000 parking passes.
Good Lord.
A week from Friday. And if you're a Notre Dame fan, particularly a Notre Dame fan that maybe doesn't live in the area, and you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, if we win, we're going to New Orleans. And then if we win that, we're going to Miami. I mean, I get it's a little greedy, but you might be thinking, wait a minute, if I could sell my ticket and, pay for the New Orleans trip or something like that, I will take that risk. Whereas an Indiana fan might look at it and say, hey, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Win, lose, draw, I just want to be there. So I am a little curious to see exactly what that environment will be like.
Hey, KB, how far into IU's football season did you think to yourself, wow, the playoffs are a real possibility here?
Yeah, it's a great question, Nige. I said this morning on our show, can you imagine freeze framing even Notre Dame, after the Northern Illinois game, pausing that loss that they had in mid-September and say, okay, Notre Dame will host a playoff game and their opponent will be Indiana. Probably early to mid-October, maybe with that Washington game. I think they had big noon kickoff down there. And, once Michigan didn't look like it was the Michigan of last year, and I guess Washington you can make the same case for, but as Indiana just continued to just beat the living crap out of every team they played, it was like, wow, A, they're good, and B, the schedule is very favorable. And as you started to see a 12-team playoff play out, you realized 11-1 was going to get them in. And I wouldn't say they super comfortably were in, but, for the most part, with a few games that went their way in November, they were pretty comfortably in. in the bracket. So, yeah, I would say probably right around that Washington game, probably like mid-October is when maybe the Nebraska game when they beat them by a lot. Probably when it was like, wow, this is adding up. They're good, and their schedule is favorable.
And when we talk about the schedule here, like, I don't like to just rip on IU or Notre Dame for their schedule, because I'm thinking to myself, all right, a year ago, if you're putting Notre Dame's schedule together, you're looking at this and you're thinking, we're opening up at Texas A&M. That's going to be a tough game. We've got Florida State on the schedule. They're coming off basically an unbeaten season. Like, it's not Notre Dame's fault that Florida State, USC were asked this year, right? Like, they scheduled hard in advance. It just turns out perennial powers were not very strong. And the same thing with Indiana. Not their fault. Washington and Michigan were down this year.
Yeah, I think the one area you can nitpick for schedule can be at times the non-conference schedule. Obviously, for Notre Dame, that's all their games. For Indiana, this year, they're non-conference. You just have to call it like it is. It was an absolute joke. For those unfamiliar, Indiana bought themselves out of the Louisville game over a year ago because they were just trying to win football games, not win football games to improve their college football resume. So they added Western Illinois, who I think us three and, John Herrick, Kurt Darling, and Tony Katz could give a good effort to on a Saturday afternoon. So
Tony Katz is the tackle eligible in that offense right now.
Certainly, yeah, he's our Dan Klenko to echo some old Super Bowl days. So I think that not like first thing I saw was kind of clamoring for IU to host a playoff game on Saturday night, and it was like, okay, you do have to look at the non-conference because again, this is not under his watch, but Tom Allen and Scott Dolson said we are going to not play Louisville. We will pay Louisville to take the game off our schedule. Well, I mean, look at Notre Dame's schedule. They did play Louisville, and that's like one of their somewhat bigger games from this past season. Indiana's non-conference schedule next year is going to be a joke again. So I think that's where you do have the one knock. The in-conference, to your point, Hammer, I think it's a little bit more difficult. So that's why, like in Notre Dame's case for next year, I know they put Boise State on their schedule. They have Texas A&M again. They have Miami. So, if those years that USC and Florida State are down, do you make sure that you still – I think Notre Dame goes to Arkansas. I mean, that's like an SEC road game. Like, do you have enough of a buffer to kind of offset maybe some subpar games or teams that you didn't expect to be?
Kevin Bowen with us. One half of the wake-up call with KB and Andy on 107.5 The Fan. Purdue, they got their new head coach. They hijacked UNLV's guy, who used to be Missouri's guy. What do we make of this?
Yeah, so Barry Odom, he was a linebacker at Missouri and then took over for Gary Pinkel. A little less than a decade ago, Gary Pinkel fell ill, and he was 500 at Missouri in those 4 years. Odom, and then left there, got fired there, went to Arkansas, then he's been at UNLV the last 2 years. For those unfamiliar, which, who would know UNLV's history of football, they've been absolutely terrible, and he led them to 2 conference championship appearances. They lost to Boise State on Friday night. Had they won that game, they would have been in the playoffs. So, led them to 2 seasons that really they have never sniffed. Now, he's a defensive guy. Sounds like a pretty fiery dude. He comes off maybe more of a kind of outwardly football personality. So he'll be introduced tomorrow. I think offensively you will still have some questions there. But again, what he did at UNLV was pretty unheard of considering that football program. Those might remember earlier in the year, UNLV's quarterback quit the team because his NIL payments weren't coming in or weren't anywhere near what he was promised. So that was a little bit of drama that he had to deal with. But yeah, this is a guy that name was thrown around for some of these jobs, and he'll be introduced Tuesday morning.
Got about a minute left here. Kevin Bowen, Colts had a bye week this past week, got a big game this upcoming Sunday at Denver, de facto playoff game. So had a chance to watch a little bit of the Pacers, and something isn't right. This Pacer team, there is something that is not right. They look night and day compared to last year. What do you think's going on?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I would argue yesterday was their worst loss of the season. A lot of people point to injuries, and I'm not going to ignore them, but at the same time, they have also lost to a lot of teams that have had, I would argue, bigger injuries, and that was one of them yesterday. They played a Charlotte team without their best player, not a good Charlotte team, and lost. So, Rick Carlisle comes on with us every Tuesday, and he's really harped on how the game's been called a little bit more physical around the NBA this season, and just felt like his team hasn't adapted well to that. So right now they're in a stretch where they're going to play 2 games in the next 10 days. that is a time that is kind of rare in the NBA schedule to have that few of games over that stretch. You got to take advantage of it, whether that's practice time, whether it's film sessions, et cetera, because there are issues on both ends of the floor. I would say probably offensively is where more of the issues are. And again, maybe just not handling physicality from opposing defenses very, very well. But 10-15 is a big look in the mirror moment, and it's been a shocking start to, I would say, one of the more anticipated Pacers seasons in quite a while.
So, Rick Carlisle tomorrow, what else are you guys talking about?
Yeah, tomorrow at 8. We should have Barry Odom, the new Purdue coach, at some point this week. Don't know if it'll be tomorrow or later in the week. Obviously, he's a busy man, but we focused on a lot of that and keep you updated on things from an Indiana Notre Dame standpoint.
That is Kevin Bowen, 107.5. The Fan does the morning show over there. KB, thanks, man.
You bet. Thanks for having me, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
All right, the holiday season is rocking. We're right in the middle of it. It is totally not too late to check this year's financial resolution off your list. It's Matt Bear. Hey, good morning. Give Trajan Wealth a call to start achieving your financial goals. Looking for peace of mind in your investment portfolio? Start with a second opinion. Dot the I's, cross the T's, Call Trajan Wealth and say hi to the team. Schedule a complimentary introduction meeting, 317-480-4040, or go to TrajanWealth.com. There are no limitations on the products they offer. They can focus on your specific situation, regardless of your investment priorities. The best part, what makes me feel secure, Trajan Wealth is a fiduciary, meaning they always have to act in the best interest of their clients. They always have your back. Call the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth to schedule your free consultation. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com today. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or SwainCoLLC.com.
Downtown Indy, dressed in holiday style and glowing with bright lights and festive sights all season long. Gather with friends on Monument Circle to enjoy stunning holiday lighting and audio-visual presentations every night of the week. Create new memories while dining at award-winning restaurants just steps from your favorite attractions, sporting events, and performances. Come winter wander in downtown Indy. Come for an event, stay for a holiday experience. Visit IndyWonderland.com for all the details, including curated downtown holiday itineraries. That's IndyWonderland.com.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
You've got a Pepto Predicament festive feaster.
Who wants another slice of Grammy's famous pumpkin pie?
I do not. I think I need to lay down for a minute.
You overdid it on all the family favorites, and now your stomach's throwing a Yuletide tantrum. Undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can get back to the feast and the festivities.
Who's ready for some games?
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Steel holiday savings are here. Make room under the tree for gifts at the top of their wish list. Right now, power up the holidays with great deals on long-lasting tools. Find the perfect gift at your local Steel dealer or shop the Steel Holiday Gift Guide at steelusa.com.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, we provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
Express the heartwarming message that says love is about being together. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be the symbol that says I love you. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
She's too special for just an average gift. See Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Matt Bayer, what's up?
Yeah, Hammer, looking at southbound 6570. And a stall right now on the right shoulder at St. Clair Street. Not causing a delay, a little bit of a slowdown, though, through the north split right now. Southbound 6570. Southbound 65 stop and go traffic, MLK to Meridian Penn, and now a stall on northbound 69 at 82nd Street. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Because she's too special for just an average gift, come see Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
52 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. All right, we went a little long with Is This Anything and Kevin Bowen, so that's on us. So we got to take another time out. But when we come back, Mock, the lovely, the talented Mock from Chicks on the Right joins us.
American Standard Heating and Air, they're built to a higher standard. I only use American Standard equipment, furnace, air conditioner, and I'm talking about American Standard dealers as well. In fact, Hammer has one of those local, awesome, independent American Standard dealers right here in Central Indy.
Our good friends at Family Heating and Air. Make some noise for the Morris family. The Morris family and their staff ready to take care of you this winter. You could call Rachel, Marcus, or Malia today to make sure that furnace is safe and ready to roll for those cold winter nights. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. Maybe you got a quote from somebody else that doesn't look right. Call Family, because nobody takes care of you like family. You can also ask about how to get better indoor air quality. 317-577-8077. 317-577-8077. Family Heating and Air. They're with American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Fellas, feel like you've lost more than just a step or two? It could be low testosterone. You can get your levels checked by the experts at Low T Center. They have over a decade of experience with testosterone therapy, or TRT. For established patients, they offer at-home TRT treatment, including both lab testing and medication. Low T Center's plan is a personalized treatment plan, not just a basic standard treatment offered by some providers. It ships directly to your door. LowTCenter.com to book your appointment. Reinventing men's healthcare.
Trump's victory doesn't mean our financial worries are over. Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. Washington's spending addiction still threatens your savings. That's why I recommend gold IRAs from my friends at Birch Gold Group. These accounts protect your retirement from government mismanagement. For a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word SHELTER to 989898. Don't wait. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 now for your free kit from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book,
I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing, and many times the holidays are when sewer stoppages must be dealt with, and the best of the best for that job is LD Smith Plumbing. They have the perfect equipment and the right people to clean your drains, or help you replace them if they're uncleanable because they're broken down. Best of all, they'll fix your sewer drains with modern piping that will last for decades to come. They clean up the dirty and stinky jobs with plumbing solutions that work. Find them online at ldsmithplumbing.com. That's ldsmithplumbing.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, your local news. It's all coming up right after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recyclers Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
And a handwritten document critical of corporate America.
We're still working through his social media. We're going to do a complete scrub of that. Preliminarily, like I said, he seems that he has some ill will toward corporate America, but that will all come out as part of our investigation. We're not done here. We're still going to be putting this together. We're still going to be working very hard to bring this to a successful conclusion.
NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenny says a McDonald's employee recognized Mangione from surveillance photos. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
We should never underestimate the power of the public to be our eyes and our ears in these investigations.
Tisch says it's the third time in 3 weeks help from the public led to a high-profile arrest. Marine veteran Daniel Penny is found not guilty by a New York jury for last year's death of Jordan Neely, who Penny subdued with a chokehold on a subway train. Protesters outside the courthouse chanting "No justice, no peace."
They slammed the jury and the verdict. One of the protesters even suggested Daniel Penny should pack up and get out of town. Now, for Penny and his defense team, today is a win. Celebrating at a bar right after court today, Penny's defense team told me they were cautiously optimistic jurors would come back today deadlocked and the lesser charge dismissed. But jurors gave them an outright acquittal.
Fox's CB Cotton. On Friday, the judge dismissed the top count, manslaughter, after the jury deadlocked on it. Today's verdict coming just over an hour after deliberations began on the count of negligent homicide. Neely's father is suing Penny. The UN Security Council holding an emergency session on Syria after President Assad was overthrown by rebels.
World leaders are optimistic that this marks the end of the brutal regime and that it will mean a new chapter for the people of Syria.
Fox's Alex Hogan. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
When it could snow. 52 degrees, cloudy over the monuments. You've got a clear radar at a low of 36 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Snow could show up Wednesday night, possibly during your drive home from work. Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service says it's best to be prepared.
The rates of snowfall within the squall itself can be very heavy for a short period of time. Now, what that does is it drastically reduces visibilities over small areas, which allows snow to collect on the roadways.
Ryan says it's only going to get colder as you work through the week with that light rain and snow possible Tuesday and Wednesday that he mentioned, and then, of course, temperatures possibly below freezing by Thursday. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb says he's reflecting on his time as your governor now that it's about to come to an end.
To think that we have a new Albany and a new Castle and a new Haven and a new Carlisle. It's really a new Indiana when you stop and think for a second about all the new ecosystems that are scattered and spread across the entire state.
Braun tells Inside Indiana business investments in the state from entities like Meta, Google, and Microsoft will only set Indiana up for success over the next couple of decades. The trial was supposed to start today, but both parties in the groping case against former Attorney General Curtis Hill have agreed to dismiss the case. Here's Kurt Darling.
Hill was due to appear in civil court this week as a judge denied any further delays in the case last week. An Indiana lawmaker and 3 State House staffers accused Hill of groping them and making lewd comments during a party in 2018. Hill has continued to deny any wrongdoing in the incident. Though Hill was never criminally charged, he was suspended for a period of time by the Indiana Supreme Court in 2020. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Notre Dame football coach Marcus Freeman has high praise for his upcoming opponent. It's one from in the state as well. The Indiana Hoosiers are playing Notre Dame in the first round of the college football playoff, led by head coach Kurt Cignetti.
Coach has done a wonderful job to take this program to win 11 games in the Big Ten and to, have this team ready to make a run in the playoffs. It's a credit to the coach.
Tickets for the game, if you're looking at going, most of them over $1,000. So good luck. You might have to save up some. That game's on December 20th. It'll be a Friday night at 8 o'clock. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My entire family's obsessed with all things Wicked, but my kids can't stop watching the trailer, and now they're having a Wicked-themed sleepover. Do you think our internet can handle all of the streaming and memeing going on?
Well, we've engineered our Xfinity gateways to handle hundreds of devices at once, so they can all stay magically connected.
Wow. Are you a wizard?
I wish. No, just someone that won't let a bad connection burst your internet bubble. Now through December 22nd, get thrillifyingly fast 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract and free Wi-Fi equipment included. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile at Xfinity.com. Switch today and keep the magic going from your screen to the big screen. And see Wicked in theaters now. Restrictions apply. Requires payable split on auto-pay stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply. Currently $56 a month for internet service and $15 for Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, we have a stall going up towards Fishers. This is northbound 69 at 82nd Street. Right lane is closed. Traffic stop and go to 465. Eastbound 465 on the northeast side. Stop and go traffic. Westfield Boulevard to I-69. Inbound 65 stop and go. MLK to Meridian Penn. That is a 6-minute delay. Southwest side southbound 465 stop and go traffic. 70 past Kentucky Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Discover. Discover wants everyone to feel special. That's why they double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Tracking isolated shower potential for Monday night with lows down in the low 30s. On-off rain chance Tuesday morning to early afternoon before a snow chance emerges Tuesday night. And it'll be colder with highs in the low to mid-40s. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Jason Hammer. Big Nige is here, and let's go to the hotline and bring on one half of the chicks on the right. WIBC alumni, the lovely, the talented Miss Mock joins us. Macarena, how are you?
I'm well. I've missed you guys.
It's been a little bit since we've had a chance to chat here. Did you finalize the move? Did you move down to the South?
We did, yes. We're now in Beaufort, South Carolina, and it was an absolutely horrendous first week because we came down with like some flu thing, and I have a knee that needs replacing. It's been a disaster, but we're finally starting to make it a home.
Old people stuff, moving, knee pain, old people stuff.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Let's get down to brass tacks here. You and I are both big fans of Kash Patel. We were hoping and praying he'd get the nod from Donald Trump to oversee some sort of government agency. Looks like that's going to happen, but there's still a little tough sledding ahead. You've got the Democrats who are trying to make life living hell for a number of these Trump nominees. Pete Hegseth, Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard. Like, they're pretty brazen about it now. They're bragging that this is like the checklist of people they want to screw with. And my problem, Mock, is that they can't do this without the help of some squishy, wishy-washy Republicans. What are your thoughts on this whole process?
Well, I'm just tired of it. Trump won. He did get a mandate. I know there's a lot of people trying to say that that's not true, but he did win. He won the popular vote. He won both houses of Congress. Like, the people have spoken. Let him have his picks. This is ridiculous. Republicans have always laid down and been doormats when it comes to approving all the Democrat president picks. It's time for them to do the same thing. It's up to him to create the leadership team that he wants. Just let him frickin' do it already.
And you expect this from the usual suspects, right? The Collins, the Murkowskis. But I think I asked Rob this last week. Do you think seeing the results of that election where all the swing states went Trump, it was an electoral college blowout. Hell, the orange man even won the popular vote for those that, get off on that. Do you think seeing that in any way makes people like Collins and Murkowski do a double take?
Well, I hope that they have some of their more reasonable Republican colleagues pointing those things out to them and saying, you're supposed to be on our team. You know what I mean? You are the same people that said, yeah, Merrick Garland should be fine. That's fine. It's going to be fine. These are the same. If they want to have an R behind their name, it's time for them to start playing on our team. And so I hope that they're facing enough peer pressure from other Republican colleagues that they're going to do the right thing, because this is absolutely ridiculous. And Joni Ernst, I mean, enough of the long, thoughtful conversations that she keeps talking about with Pete Hegseth. Just confirm him already.
Right. And if the argument were that I don't think he's smart enough to do the job, I don't like his policies, I think he's going to be a disaster in the position, that'd be one thing. But it's all about this woke bullcrap, personal attacks. It's the Kavanaugh stuff. It's the Clarence Thomas stuff all over again. And you're so right. The Republicans traditionally lay down for this.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. We're always trying to have sort of this moral high ground. And then in situations like this, it's like we have to play the same way that Democrats do. We have to come together as a team and do the thing that the current leader of the team wants us to do. And especially when it comes to building out his own cabinet. He has the right to choose the people that he wants around him that he believes will get the job done. And for crying out loud, these people are vetted. They are qualified. All the nonsense from Republicans and Democrats alike trying to disparage the picks, enough is enough. He has made his decisions. Let's move forward and get this done.
And the Republicans, say what you want, but they always find a way to screw these things up. Democrats play to win. You might not like their policies, you might not like them personally, but to quote the great Herm Edwards, they play to win the game. But it seems like so many of these Republicans, they just want to be liked by some of these Democrats. Does that make sense?
Or they just want to be talked about. And in which case, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with what's going on with Joni Ernst right now. Of course, she wants the job that Pete Hegseth has been picked for. I mean, that certainly plays into it. But a lot of times I feel like they're contrary just to be talked about. I mean, because they're such attention whores. You know what I mean? All of them.
Right.
To some degree or another are attention whores. But in this case, it just feels like she likes having her name talked about. She likes being in the news. Even if she's getting negative attention, it's good attention for her.
We're chatting with Mock from the Chicks on the Right program. So this past weekend, hell's breaking loose. Nobody knows where Assad's at. The Syrian rebels have tried to liberate their country, but now there's this moment of uncertainty where you don't know who's in charge, what the new regime is going to be like. And meanwhile, here in the United States, nobody knows really where Biden's at. The last couple pictures I saw of him, one of them, he was asleep at a meeting, and another one, he looked like Doc Brown in Back to the Future when he saw the Libyans. Like, should we be a little concerned here, Mock?
You absolutely should, because he did one of those announcements when Assad was like officially out. He did come to a podium to like talk about how basically we're going to help get humanitarian aid, more of our taxpayers' dollars to help rebuild Syria, which I'm sure the folks in North Carolina right now are like, hello.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Joe Biden in that moment was so, just like you said, he was disheveled. He looked like he was functioning on about an hour of sleep. He could not complete a coherent sentence. And then even when the reporters started screaming questions at him as he was walking out of the room, they were asking about the journalist that's been held hostage for, since like 2012. They were asking about him, and he was like, yeah, I think we know. I think we're going to find out where he is and we're going to do what we can to get him home. And then there was a follow-up question from another reporter saying, so when do you think that we're going to be able to get Austin Tice home? And he was like, who? And he just talked about him. Like, the guy is just out of his mind.
You mean to tell me that the same guy that called on Jackie Walorski in a press conference wondering where she was at a week or two after she had passed away might not have it all together, Mock? Come on.
I know, it's shocking, truly shocking.
Mock from Chicks on the Right with us. So comedian, actress, whatever you want to call her, Sarah Silverman, she comes out and says, look, nobody wants to hear from celebrities about politics right now. Right now were the key words there, because somebody asked her how come she hasn't been talking about the election. How come you haven't been ripping on Trump? And she says, well, nobody wants to hear from celebrities about politics right now. My question to you is, when the hell did we ever care?
Well, exactly. I mean, maybe she's learned something from how disastrous of a failure Kamala's, foray into adding celebrities to her lineup. That was terrible for her. It did nothing for her. An endorsement from Taylor Swift did nothing for her. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad Sarah Silverman is saying out loud what we've all known to be true forever. We don't care what you think about politics. Stick to your craft. That's what we pay attention to you for. And just leave the politics to the professionals, okay?
The whole right now thing, though, that's like Monday morning quarterback, right? You get your ass handed to you in an election, but then all of a sudden you have this come to Jesus moment. So the night before the election, it was hot take this and hot take that. The day after the election, wow, nobody wants to hear from celebrities anymore. It's so disingenuous. I don't buy it for a second.
I know. And you know that in the next cycle, she'll be just loudly and proudly retweeting, doing all the things, saying all the things. She might have been quiet in this particular election, but she was still retweeting other people about politics.
Right.
She just wasn't making her own statements. So I don't know. I think it's like you said. She's recognizing that she's coming at this right now from a losing position, and so she's trying to be more magnanimous. But we know that she's going to be fully back. At the next midterm, she's going to be just as loud and obnoxious as she's always been.
Oh, if it's Gavin Newsom running for the nomination.
Oh, my God.
Boy, get ready, Bal, as Joe Biden once said. Mock from Chicks on the Right, what's coming up on the big show?
Well, we'll definitely be talking a lot about Daniel Penny's not guilty verdict. That's super, super exciting. So very, very pleased about that. I'm sure that'll be top of our show tomorrow, as will lots and lots of leftist liberal crazy, because we always include a healthy dose of that in every show, and definitely want to entertain people with some happy news at the end with our typical animal videos that we like to share. You can always expect to go through a whirlwind of emotions on the Chicks on the Right show.
Any dogs humping in those animal videos, Mock?
We'll see. I haven't found which ones I'm going to play yet.
All right. Live from South Kakalaki. She is down there in Nikki Haley country now. Have fun with that, and we'll talk to you soon here, Mock.
All right. Thank you.
Matt Bear's got a look at the roads.
Northbound 69, hanging up to Fishers. It is a stall blocking the right lane at 82nd that has us jammed up into a 465 interchange. And now we are stop and go, absolutely loaded on eastbound 465 from Westfield Boulevard over to I-69. And then looking at the northwest side, northbound 465 stop and go traffic, 86th Street up to 865. And eastbound 70 slow to downtown from west. Inbound 65 stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn. That's a 5-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Dell Technologies. It's your last chance to snag Dell Technologies' lowest prices of the year before the holidays. Save on select PCs that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Shop Dell.com/deals. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
52 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
4 people over the age of 65 suffers from a fall every year, but you don't have to wait until an injury happens. Be proactive. Learn how to enhance your strength, stability, and confidence at the Holistic Integration Balance and Stability Seminar, Wednesday, December 11th at 6 p.m. Learn why Holistic Integration is uniquely positioned to help patients avoid falls or recover from a fall. You'll see a live demonstration of our Pro Balance 360, which has been shown to be 97% effective in improving balance, coordination, and core strength. Whether you're aiming to maintain an active lifestyle, improve athletic performance, or reduce the risk of injury, this event is for all ages. Those who attend will receive a free balance assessment. The Holistic Integration Free Balance and Stability Seminar, Wednesday, December 11th at 6 p.m. Learn more or RSVP by calling 317-848-8048 or on our website at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Are you having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you, like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
Lovebirds, you're in for a treat. With your holiday proposal just around the corner, Shane Company is here to help you create your dream engagement ring. This is your moment. Let's make it magical. Through 4 generations as a family business, we've helped tons of couples find a beautiful engagement ring for a price that works with their budget. We've always sourced diamonds directly, cut out the middleman, and passed the savings on to you. At Shane Company, we have the widest selection of ring settings and center stones, in stock and ready to compare side by side. It's so easy. Choose a look that brings your vision to life. From classic styles to modern designs, we have them all. Then pick out a natural or lab-grown diamond, a sapphire in your favorite color, or a vibrant gemstone like ruby or amethyst. With our everyday competitive prices and free lifetime warranty, your forever after is safe with us. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. We've got your dream ring and fine jewelry gifts for everyone on your list. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Trump's victory doesn't mean our financial worries are over. Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. Washington's spending addiction still threatens your savings. That's why I recommend gold IRAs from my friends at Birch Gold Group. These accounts protect your retirement from government mismanagement. For a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word SHELTER to 989898. Don't wait. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 now for your free kit from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
PA Jewelers in Brownsburg is your one and only spot for Christmas and holiday gifts this year, and I shop at PA Jewelers. Jewelry for my wife, watches for my wrist, that's what I get from PA Jewelers. They have an incredible selection of one-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces, specialty pieces. Visit PA Jewelers today to get your Christmas shopping done today. More than a kiss, visit PA Jewelers inside Premier Arms, 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg. PA Jewelers is worth the trip. 317-858-3030 or online at premierarms.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
See the diamonds at Pierce Jewelers. Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Okay, let's begin.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Lara Trump, friend of the show, I believe wife to Eric Trump, announced she's going to be stepping down as co-chair of the RNC. Short stint with the RNC, but a successful stint. Are you okay with this?
Selfishly, I say no, because in the short amount of time that she took over, the RNC focused on election security. They brought in a bunch of attorneys. They brought in a bunch of poll workers, a bunch of volunteers, and they set fundraising records. All of the things that had been lacking under the leadership of Ronna McDaniel, previously. Laura put out a tweet talking about stepping away, quote, serving as the GOP co-chair throughout the course of the most consequential election in American history has truly been the honor of my life. At the RNC, we had 3 distinct goals: surpass all fundraising records, build the largest army of lawyers and poll watchers to ensure election integrity, and number 3, turn out millions of Americans and low-propensity voters during early voting. We accomplished all 3. So for that reason, yes, I'm not okay with it, but hats off. She did a great job. This really was an important election. Like, we can't just celebrate and be happy that your guy won. If the Democrats kept control and kept doing things at the border the way they were doing, this country would be a mess, man. We might not ever have fair elections again, because the whole point of the open border is to flood swing states, right? They wanted to find a way to get these folks into swing states, get them ballots in a couple years, and then guess what? No more swing states ever again. They never lose an election. So this was a big-time effort, and it sounds like now she's interested in what could be that open Florida Senate seat that Marco Rubio is going to leave open, assuming he gets confirmed.
Just in time for the holidays, Hammer. Donald Trump rolling out a new cologne and perfume line. It's called Fight, Fight, Fight. Are you okay with the Donald Trump cologne line?
Did you see how he promoted this on Truth Social?
Yeah.
Did you see the picture that he used to promote his new fragrance?
See, I always see those things. I never know if they're real. Was that a real social media post from Donald Trump? And I'll let you describe it. But I saw that. I'm like, is that, wait. Did he really post that, or is that just a screenshot of something?
Oh,
weird?
that's real.
Really?
It was the photo of the good doctor, Dr. Jill, kind of giving him the eyes when they were at a recent event.
Yes.
And it wasn't like a side eye. It was a, hey, now that my old man's incapacitated, maybe you and I could be friends kind of eye. So that's the picture he used, of course.
To promote his cologne.
Right. Always be selling, right? That's what he's doing right here. But if you remember, he's not the first president to put out a cologne.
No?
Joe Biden put out a cologne.
Who has the smell, but he can really tell.
Come on, man.
Who has the style he can't remember for a while.
Come on, man.
Whether it's hiding in the basement.
Come on, man.
Or forgetting to wear his Depends.
Come on, man.
Come on, man is the scent for a politician on the go.
Come on, man.
Or a politician who forgets he had to go.
Come on, man.
Designed to obscure that old man politician smell that only decades of corruption and dementia can create.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man is the scent. Whether you're strong-arming Ukrainians for political favors, or getting your cocaine-addicted son out of rehab so he can make millions on a job that he's utterly unqualified for.
Come on, man.
Come on, man is perfect.
So they each have a cologne out on the market.
Well, look, man, we got IU basketball coming up. Are we not going to have time for Moonshine Mondays? Because we usually do it like towards the end of this hour. I mean,
we're going to make time for it. Cue up the band, baby. If we're going to do this, we got to do it right.
When we used to kick back and let the moonshine.
First of all, I got to tell you, I don't know why. I'm like, I love the advent calendar lives, the social media. You bought a Moonshine advent calendar in Tennessee when you were there visiting for a week during Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So every night it's a different moonshine, like an advent calendar.
Right.
Like, countdown to Christmas, right?
Now, there are 24 different shines in this advent calendar. I don't know if they're all different. There might be some repeats, but as of right now, they've all been different. So
you take to the Facebook page live every night and try a different one.
Correct. We'll do it again tonight.
Strangely compelled. I tune in. For whatever reason, I'm interested in it. I like it. I've never even heard of a Moonshine advent calendar to begin with.
It's on our Facebook, our Twitter, and our Instagram.
What do you got there, man?
Now, this one, Nige.
It's got a bluish hue.
This is a little bottle that I bought.
A little spillage there.
It's all right. Now, some of these ones in the Advent calendar, they're kind of the sweet kind or the sipping kind.
Yeah.
This one will put a little hair on your peaches here.
Blue Flame. This is so strange. I'm looking at the old smoky moonshine. It's called Blue Flame. It's the bottle, the jar it's in, it's like it's got a bluish tint to it, but when you poured it out in the shot glass here,
yes,
it's clear. It's really weird.
Let's see if it tastes blue. Let's go. Mmm.
Oh, God. Whoa.
Yeah, Bubba.
Dude, that's stronger than just like the clear. You know what I mean?
That is not one to be messed with.
What is that one again? Say
Blue Flame from Old Smoky Moonshine.
Blue Flame. Incredible. Wow. Thank you for that.
Puts a little hair on your peaches. All right, we got IU basketball on the way. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 3 o'clock. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The number one ranked team in the country. Unbelievable. Incredible. As the Hoosier Ball Club goes wild, they know they've won the national championship. Steve Walford just came down and batted Joe Hillman on the head. They are going to celebrate tonight in New Orleans as Indiana will go on to the championship game. And Indiana Max has won the national championship for the second time under Bobby Knight and the fourth time in the school system. Jump shot in the air. Good! 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. The Hoosiers have won the national championship. Indiana wins the national championship for 1981. And there is pandemonium.
On the CareSource Radio Network from Learfield, this is Indiana Hoosier Basketball. Brought to you by Central Indiana Honda Dealers. Your Central Indiana Honda dealers are proud supporters of IU athletics. And by Green and Schultz Trial Lawyers, a winning team for victims of injury and loss. More at greenschultz.com. Now, from the Smithville Broadcast Center, this is Hoosier Pregame. Here's the voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fisher.
From Branch McCracken Court of the Simon Scott Assembly Hall on the IU campus in Bloomington, this is Indiana University basketball. This evening, Indiana will play their first of 2 December conference games, looking to add to a 3-game win streak tonight as they welcome the Golden Gophers of the University of Minnesota. Hello again, everybody. I'm Don Fisher, along with color analyst Eric Sewer and broadcast host John Herrick. Well, Indiana won their 7th game against 2 losses last Friday, conquering the Miami, Ohio Redhawks here in the Hall 76-57. The Hoosiers shot 54% from the floor with 4 players reaching double figures, led by junior Malik Renews, 19 points, sophomore Miles Rice, 17, and a double-double from senior Umar Ballo with 14 points and 18 rebounds. The only caveat to the positives were 16 turnovers that Miami turned into 20 points that kept the outcome from being a rout. Minnesota played their first Big Ten game last Wednesday at home and suffered a 90-72 setback to improving Michigan State. The Gophers got off to a slow start and never really recovered, giving up 27 fast break points to the Spartans and were beat on the boards 37-27. Seniors Dawson Garcia and Mike Mitchell with 18 and 17 points respectively led Minnesota, whose record now stands at 6-4 on the season. Well, Eric Sewer, I've been looking for IU to have more energy and effort to start games, and they certainly did that Friday, but turnovers after the first 6 to 7 minutes of play let Miami hang around for a good part of that game.
Yeah, still waiting for Indiana to put a complete ball game together and really kind of click on all cylinders. And it was a good effort the last matchup, but you painted the picture perfectly, Fish. It's just the turnovers really kept Miami in the ball game, and Indiana just couldn't put it away until the very end when they went on a big run. I just think 40 minutes of play is what Coach Woodson and his staff are still emphasizing right now to this team. You got to start the game out really well. You got to keep that momentum and that energy going through the first half, and then when you get back in the locker room, you can't let up. You can't say, oh, we're up by 10. Everything's all good and dandy. No, it's great teams, Don, play 40 minutes of basketball. And for Indiana, that's the challenge here moving forward. Can Indiana be a team that plays consistently at both ends for 40 minutes? I'll tell you, they're going to have to be a team because the Big Ten is deep. They're talented. They're very well coached. I don't know who the best team in the Big Ten is right now. There's so many teams right now that are battling for that position. Hopefully Indiana's one of them when it's all said and done, but there are no let-ups on this conference schedule here moving forward.
The bigs for Indiana in that game against Miami were key. They obviously, Umar Ballo had 14 points and 18 rebounds in that contest. And Malik Renew, he had 19 points and 7 rebounds, and those two bigs were keys in that matchup.
No doubt about it at all. And before the game started, we talked about how important it was that Ballo use that big body and athleticism to be a great rebounder at both ends. I don't think Indiana's number one option should be Ballo on the low block. No, he's going to be a pick-and-roll guy, but he's got to be active when that shot goes up. Offensive rebounding is going to be so important here for this offense moving forward. I thought both of those guys were spectacular. I'd still like Renew to get a little bit more involved rebounding the basketball, but I thought Ballo was absolutely spectacular rebounding the basketball. That was a difference maker in that game. Indiana completely dominated around the rim. Rebounding, points in the paint. The 4 and 5 spot really stood out in that game against Miami. Those two guys were great.
Well, Minnesota comes in with a guy named Dawson Garcia, who we've seen play for 3 years now at this Minnesota ballpark. And obviously, he is their key guy. But they have struggled when he hasn't played up to his capabilities at times. And Mike Mitchell just joined them here three ball games ago. And he's just in his 4th game back. But he had 17 points in their last outing against Michigan State. Those are the two key guys for Minnesota.
No doubt about it. And Indiana has had some success against Minnesota the last couple years. And primarily it's been because of their ability to limit Dawson Garcia's production. Both home and away last year, Garcia really had trouble against Indiana's front court. I think the recipe for success is the exact same here tonight. You cannot allow Garcia to get open looks from 3, to get to the free throw line. He's a really good free throw shooter. And Mitchell's a guy that's coming off knocking 5 threes down against Michigan State's really tough defense. So those two guys are going to be really tough to handle. Indiana's got to know where they are at all times here tonight.
All right, well, that's the story here from the sidelines of Simon Scott Assembly Hall as Indiana gets ready to match up with the Minnesota Golden Gophers in their first Big Ten game of the season. Our pregame show presented by IU Credit Union, an official partner of IU Athletics. We started a credit union and created a community. When we come back, John Herrick will present Where Are They Now? This is Indiana University basketball on the CareSource Radio Network from Learfield.
Honda's biggest event is back. Happy Honda Days are here with our best savings of the year. All remaining 24s must go. Save thousands with 1.9% financing. Award-winning Honda cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, hybrids, and EVs are all in stock. Like the 2024 Honda Accord, now with low 1.9% APR financing. Do not miss it. To have happy Honda Days, search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details for well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 1/2/25.
Let the team that takes care of your team take care of you. As the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of IU Athletics, IU Health and Orthopedics and Sports Medicine will help you get back to doing the things that you love. Whether it's knee pain or a broken bone, you can schedule a consultation or visit our walk-in clinic for urgent needs. IU Health gives you more options for highly skilled care when, where, and how you need it, including right now. Call 812-333-2663 or visit iuhealth.org/Bloomington Ortho.
How many devices are connected to Wi-Fi in your home today? Televisions, smartphones, video doorbells, maybe even your refrigerator. It's a lot to put together into one seamlessly connected Wi-Fi solution. Smithville has just what you need to customize your ultra-fast Wi-Fi experience throughout your home. Learn how Smithville's new managed Wi-Fi service keeps you connected to what matters. Call 800-742-4084 or visit smithville.com to learn more.
Have you been injured at work? Contact Golitko and Daly, the Indiana work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. There's nothing easy about work injury cases. At Golitko and Daly, we focus on work-related injury cases and have board-certified and OSHA-trained trial lawyers to help you with your case. Find us at indianaworkers.com. Golitko and Daly, your Indiana work injury lawyers. At Golitko and Daly, we go to work when you can't.
At Indiana University, we're undaunted by challenge. We take the lead. We don't follow the crowd. Embracing the future with creativity and bravery. Unapologetically optimistic. Equipped with the knowledge and intention to change the world. Because bold is who we are. 9 campuses, 1 purpose. Creating tomorrow, today. Indiana University. Bring on tomorrow. Join us at iu.edu.
Hey, Hoosier fans! Basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Indiana basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Indiana Hoosiers. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Herrick. This is the portion of our pregame show where we speak with former IU basketball players and find out what they're up to now. Our guest today is Tom Bolliard, who played at IU from 1960 to 1963 for 2-time championship-winning coach Branch McCracken. I talked to him late last week about what that experience was like.
Well, he was fantastic. And, I got to be pretty good friends with Coach Knight. And they were a lot alike in quite a few ways. Both of them were very demanding classroom, being on time, and things like that. Now, the philosophy of basketball was different, but Grant was great to play for.
What were some of the most fun times you had playing on those teams that scored a lot of points?
Well, one is scoring a lot of points. But I think I remember my senior year, we beat Illinois twice. Illinois won the conference that year. Both games were over 100 points, and both games were won by 1 or 2 points. Same thing with Ohio State. We beat Ohio State the last game of the year to knock them out of the championship. And I think that game was also over 100 points. That game was an overtime game.
You were eventually drafted 20th overall by, at the time, the Chicago Zephyrs in 1963, but you chose to enter coaching in Fort Wayne instead. What went into that decision?
Well, Coach McCracken had a big part of that. I met with Branch before I met with the team management. And we had a little game plan. So I go up in Chicago and meet with the management, and they said, well, we'd like to sign you today. I said, okay. I said, I talked to my coach, and he said, well, what do you want? I said, well, we want a no-cut contract, and we want at least $10,000. And the guy said, well, get in the car. I'm going to take you out, buy your dinner, and send you home because we're not going to do that. Well, they wind up signing me for I think it's a 3-year contract, starting at $10,000. Can you believe that?
That's unreal.
Yeah, and I asked people. I said, I got a bonus. Well, what do you think the bonus was? $250. Can you believe where the NBA has come since 1963?
Yeah, it's wild to think about, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's wild. That's unbelievable.
You worked for IU for 40 years after your basketball career, primarily with the IU Alumni Association. How'd you like doing that?
Well, the Alumni Association was a great place to work. I also had ties with the athletic department, of course, and then the foundation. So it was a fun job. Before that, I was assistant coach for 6 years with Lou Watson, and we had minimum success. We won the Big Ten one year, but when Lou resigned, I'm almost sure we had the best team in the country coming back. We had Downing, McGinnis, Ritter, Joby Wright, Ed Daniels, you name them. We had them lined up.
All right, he is Tom Bolliard, member of the 1960 to 1963 IU basketball teams under Branch McCracken. Tom, thank you so much for talking to us. We really appreciate the time.
Well, thank you.
And Balliard was the captain of the 1962-63 team. He's enjoying retirement now. And during his 3 years there, IU's team scored an average of 86 points per game. Those were the 3 highest scoring teams in IU history at the time. When we return, we'll have our Hoosier Profile interview with IU sophomore guard Miles Rice. This is Indiana University basketball on the CareSource Radio Network from Learfield.
SPG Roofing and Exteriors is proud to be a partner of IU Athletics. Whether it's a simple repair needed or you're looking into solar solutions for your home, with our combined 50 years of experience in the roofing industry, we can provide you with the quality workmanship you're looking for, along with the respect you deserve. Call us at 317-676-5756 or visit us at spgroof.com so we can get started on your project and schedule a contactless inspection to get an idea of the property and the project. We look forward to hearing from you soon, and go Hoosiers!
Hoosier fans depend on Master Rental for all your rental needs. Whether you're a contractor or a do-it-yourselfer, our equipment and tool division has everything you need, from skid steers, excavators, and boom lifts to jackhammers, battery chainsaws, paint sprayers, and tillers. Our tent and event division offers the obvious tents, tables, chairs, and the associated needs like dance floors, bounce houses, lighting, and etc. And new this year, we are in the portable restroom business too. Let Master Rental take care of all of your rental needs, like we take care of B-Town Boulevard.
IU Credit Union. We believe in community commitment, a long-term relationship, building a strong and trusted partnership.
Appreciation and respect go a very long way.
A fair deal for everyone every day.
Leave your doubts behind. Grow your mind, time to shine. Make the day whatever you design.
IU Credit Union believes you can chase a dream. We started a credit union and created a community.
Hey Hoosiers, it's time for adventure in Indiana's great outdoors. Picture yourself in Indiana at our first state park, McCormick's Creek. Join your family and friends traversing limestone canyons and waterfalls, or enjoy the peace and quiet of a night stay and a great meal at McCormick's Creek State Park's Canyon Inn. Great seasonal rates are available, all just minutes from Bloomington. Make memories naturally in Indiana. Find your next adventure at dnr.in.gov.
Are aches, pains, or injuries keeping you on the sidelines? At Athletico, our movement experts are here to help you turn your setbacks into comebacks and create a personalized game plan for your recovery. With no prescription or referral needed, Athletico Physical Therapy is where your comeback story begins. Get started today by scheduling a free assessment at athletico.com. Proud sponsor of IU Athletics.
Indiana is filled with wonderful people and places. So whether you live in Anderson or Attica and need an injury attorney, Green & Schultz trial lawyers will be there. Bloomington or Brazil, Gas City to Goshen, Huntington or Hammond, Green & Schultz makes it easy to help you. Jasper, Jonesville, Lebanon or Linton, Mitchell, Muncie, Plymouth and Portland, Seymour, Tell City or Union City, Warsaw, Washington, or even West Lafayette.
Green & Schultz trial lawyers, attorneys serving victims of injury and loss. More at greenschultz.com.
Well, Indiana is getting ready for their first Big Ten game of the season tonight against the Minnesota Golden Gophers at Simon Scott Assembly Hall here in Bloomington, and tip-off is coming up in less than an hour. Now it's time for our Hoosier Profile interview. Here's Don Fisher.
Our guest in Hoosier Profile is Miles Rice, a sophomore in this Indiana basketball team, a transfer from Washington State. Miles, just tell us a little bit about your background. How'd you get started in basketball? I know you're from South Carolina originally, and give us a little background there.
Yeah, so my dad, he played at Erskine College in Due West, South Carolina. And, you know, he kind of put the basketball in my hands pretty early on when I was a child. And I kind of fell in love with the sport. And I played football and track beforehand. I really loved those before I really loved basketball. But then I focused on basketball. And, like, I've been playing basketball ever since I've been at rec. And, you know, it's just one of those things that, you know, doesn't necessarily define me, but it does make me up as a person that I am. But, I mean, just a kid that, you know, that loves to play sports, that loves to play basketball, like, from his dad and everybody else, like, all my uncles, like, they always, you know, coached me growing up and just, you know, always gave me a lot of insight of what I need to do to get better.
Well, you had a terrific start to your career at Washington State and had so many good things that happened out there, freshman All-America, those kinds of things. That's pretty special.
Yes, sir. Just attest to all the work that I really put in. You know, my dad never lets me get complacent. He always pushes me to be better than I was the previous day and the previous month and even the previous year. So just having him in my corner and, you know, him pushing me each and every day to, you know, be better than I was, not only just as a basketball player, but as a man as well. And I think that just carries over to everything that I do on the court.
Miles, talk a little bit about coming to Indiana. Obviously, it's a transition for you, coming to a new school, a new format, a new way to play the game. Tell us a little bit about that experience thus far.
Yeah, so when I wanted to come to Indiana, when I was in the transfer process, I just basically was looking for authenticity and a relationship that I think that was very, you know, real and that I could, you know, grow, like I said, not only as a basketball player, but as a human being and a man. And when I talked to Woody and the staff and some of the guys that were here on my visit, I got that feeling instantly. And like, he treated me like family. I always tell people, like, he's like that grandfather, and he treats me like one of his grandsons. And like, that's the thing that I love about him the most. Like, he immediately treated me like family. And ever since I've been here, it's been nothing but love, man. I've been enjoying every second of it.
Talk a little bit about this team at this point. Are your teammates starting to feel like you got a little bit more chemistry now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously in the Bahamas, you know, that gave us a little good test. You know, we played a lot of great teams out there, and it's good to come back home and get a couple more games under our belt, and especially get the first Big Ten game at home as well. We're still gelling. It's early in the season. A lot of teams aren't nowhere near how good they're going to be later on in the season. So I think for us, it's important to just focus on each and every, you know, day and game and take it one game at a time.
As far as the struggle at this point in the season, not that there's been a struggle, but my point is it still hasn't gelled like it's going to, I think, as the season progresses. Would you agree?
I mean, for sure. I mean, it's early on in the season. I mean, everybody is still trying to get adjusted to, you know, playing with one another still and just trying to pick up on tendencies. Like anybody who wins the national championship or NBA championship, they don't look their most complete form in their first 7 or 8 games. So it takes time. It takes a little bit, you know, more gelling to come along. But I think we definitely have the pieces in. We have the coaching staff along with us to get it done.
As far as leadership is concerned, that's always a point guard's part. You got to be a big leader, don't you?
Yes, sir. I know Woody, he instills that into me. He wants me to keep being that voice and be an extension of him alongside with Gallo and a couple other guys. So we all just try to do it as one big team and one big family. Well,
best of luck tonight against the Minnesota Golden Gophers that start a Big Ten play, and that's going to be interesting.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And that was our Hoosier Profile interview with IU sophomore guard Miles Rice. When we return, Smithville presents the Big Ten and Top 25 College Basketball Report. This is Indiana University basketball on the CareSource Radio Network from Learfield.
Viaggio Marine is proud to be the official pontoon boat sponsor of Indiana University Athletics. Located right here in Indiana, Viaggio is proudly family-owned and operated. You'll love our complete lineup of pontoon boats, featuring bold, innovative new looks, plush, luxurious furniture packages, vibrant new LED lighting packages, and unmatched construction. For the hottest thing in pontoons, visit ViaggioPontoonBoats.com. That's VIAGGIO pontoonboats.com.
When you share your food, you share your heart. So what's on your table this holiday season? Save on your festive feast at Kroger with delicious deals on all the holiday classics. Or wow the crowd with something new, like a quinoa stuffed butternut squash. It's sure to add a pop of color to your spread. How about a sweet potato casserole with a crunchy oat streusel topping, made with care for the sweet tooth and the savory tooth? With Kroger, fill your table with love and watch as your guests' hearts get as full as their bellies. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We know to contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before every dig. But did you also know spraying a white line around the area you plan to dig means utility flags will only go in that area? Fewer flags in the yard? Easier mowing? Everybody wins.
Everybody except my kid. I don't want to mow the yard.
Everybody except for your kid wins. Contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before picking up a shovel. It's the only way to dig. Learn more at 811.safedigindiana.com.
Milwaukee-based Cousin Subs now has 2 Indianapolis area locations at 9321 North Michigan Road and 8545 South Emerson Avenue. To celebrate, Cousins and Indiana University Athletics have teamed up to offer IU fans a chance for 2 tickets to the final home game on March 8th and a shot at $100,000 in their half-court hall sweepstakes. Fans can enter daily through February 28th and find more info at iuhoosiers.com/Cousin Subs. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Hoosier fans, Harrell Fish Incorporated has been making a difference across Indiana since 1985 as the premier provider of mechanical systems, including heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and process piping. Whether it's a large facility, business, or home, or if you want to work with a local company that is the best at what they do and supports the community, be sure to call HFI for your next project and see how they can make a difference for you.
Indiana University knows a thing or two about making great plays, and so does Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Whether you qualify for Medicaid or Medicare, a plan through the Affordable Care Act, or have health coverage through your job, you can feel confident with Anthem's large network of doctors, hospitals, and health professionals. To learn more about Anthem's health plans, call your authorized agent or visit Anthem.com. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc., independent licensees of the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association. Anthem is a registered trademark of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc.
Well, the stakes are rising with conference games now starting up for a lot of teams in the Big Ten. That is the case as well for the Indiana Hoosiers, who begin Big Ten play tonight against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Tip-off in about 30 minutes. And let's check the Big Ten and Top 25 college basketball report, which is brought to you by Smithville. Smithville's your local choice for internet, voice, TV, and security. Stick with the home team. Visit smithville.com for more information. In the Big Ten on Sunday, 8th-ranked Purdue held on to beat Maryland 83-78, while UCLA upset 12th-ranked Oregon 73-71. This game between Minnesota and Indiana is the only Big Ten game tonight. There are also no top 25 games until tomorrow night, but here are the new rankings that came out today. Tennessee's now number 1 with a record of 8-0, followed by Auburn, Iowa State, Duke, and Kentucky in the top 5. 6 through 10 are Marquette, Alabama, Gonzaga, Florida, and Kansas. Indiana's not in the top 25, but they did get 30 top 25 votes in the Associated Press poll. While we have a moment, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Indiana University basketball.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis.
Up next, Don Fisher returns with Mike Woodson and the head coach's report, which is brought to you by the IU Credit Union. This is Indiana University basketball on the CareSource Radio Network from Learfield.
This is Steve Webb with Electric Plus, a full-service electrical contractor powering Indiana with offices in Bloomington, Avon, Lafayette, and Kokomo. We work hard to deliver big wins for our customers. We lead the league in new construction, expansions, modernizations, and service repair. Our team excels at industrial, commercial, residential, and 24/7 emergency coverage. Just like the Hoosiers desire to be the best, the mission of Electric Plus is to be the best electrical contractor, period. For more information, please visit electricplus.com and go Hoosiers.
Indiana farmers, building new markets takes time and pays back dividends with long-term demand for your crops. High oleic soybean oil drives new demand for Indiana soybeans to domestic and international markets. Plus, it's a healthier oil, more desirable to customers. Your checkoff is building this demand right here in Indiana. IU Athletics is proud to offer their foods prepared in heart-healthy, high oleic soybean oil this season. Learn more about this oil at incornandsoy.org/premiums. This message was funded by Indiana soybean farmers and their checkoff. Hoosier fans, have you ever wanted to put on your own candy stripe warm-ups and hang out on the court with the team before the game? This season, the Hoosier men's basketball team is looking for an honorary pregame team member for the IU versus OSU game on March 8th, and it could be you. Go to iubench.com now and register for your chance to join your Hoosier men's basketball team for an experience that includes bench seats during warm-ups, candy stripe pants, and game tickets for 4. Again, that website is iubench.com. Brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud partner of your Indiana Hoosiers.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
It's no coincidence that Neil rhymes with deal, because that's something you can always count on with the leader in tires and auto repair for nearly a century. Neil Tire is committed to giving you the best deal on a set of Falcon tires. Stay safe on the roads this basketball season as you travel to all those Indiana Hoosiers games. Visit neiltire.com to schedule an appointment and to find the location nearest you. As always, nothing beats a Neil deal.
Honda's biggest event is back. Happy Honda Days are here with our best savings of the year. All remaining 24s must go. Save thousands with 1.9% financing. Award-winning Honda cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, hybrids, and EVs are all in stock, like the 2024 Honda Accord, now with low 1.9% APR financing. Do not miss it. To have Happy Honda Days, search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details for well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 1/2/25.
Hi, everybody. Don Fisher with the Head Coach's Report. We're sitting with Mike Woodson. It's brought to you by the IU Credit Union. We started a credit union and created a community. IU Credit Union, a proud partner of Indiana Athletics. Well, Mike, you came up with a nice win the other night over Miami of Ohio. Talk a little bit about that performance, what you like.
Well, I thought we came out with great energy, had a good start, and then they got back in it right before the half and made a game out of it. And I thought the second half we made the adjustments, regrouped, and came out and played Indiana basketball and holding them to 21 points.
Obviously, the percentages in that ball game, I think they had 30% for the whole ball game, that's tremendous defense.
Well, it pretty much came in the second half because they went 6 minutes without scoring the basketball, and that had a lot to do with the way we were playing defense.
Talk a little bit about the rebounding in that ball game. I think you had the biggest number of rebounds that you've had this season.
Well, Ballo had a lot to do with that. He had the 18 rebounds. And, I always tell these guys before the game, we can't leave it up to Ballo and Malik to get all the rebounds. It's a team sport. And all five guys have got to pitch in and help do their job. And I just thought Ballo was in great position the whole game in terms of demanding space and rebounding the ball for us.
You had good balance in the scoring from a number of guys in this ball game, and without question, I know you probably weren't as pleased with the second half of the ball game, but obviously I thought it was a good win for you guys.
No, I wasn't very pleased with the first half. The second half was great. Max struggled to score the ball, but again, some nights you're not going to be there and have it, and somebody else has got to pick up the slack. And that's kind of been the case, with our ball club. So, we had balanced scoring. We scored enough points. But I was more pleased with the way we defended the second half.
Do you look at the plus-minus after a ball game like that? Because obviously Trey Galloway, I think, had your high point at 27.
Well, I not only look at the plus-minuses, I look at combinations in terms of plus-minuses, too. To see who plays well together. So there's a number of things that we always look at after a ball game.
Was the most concerning thing the turnovers?
Yeah, that's always a red flag. No coach wants to go in the game knowing that you're going to turn the ball over. That's a lack of concentration, not putting yourself in position to get good shots and milk offense. You're two in a hurry. There are a number of things that causes turnovers, and sometimes defense can speed you up to make you turn it over. But, for the most part, we've been pretty good in that area. But the games that have exploded, like the Louisville game stands out because that was the most we've had all season, the 23, and we got punished for it.
All right, Coach, you got a Minnesota ball game to start the Big Ten season tonight. You have two Big Ten games this coming week. It's different now than it used to be, but at the same time, do you like it, the fact that they're playing a couple of games in December in the conference?
It doesn't matter to me. It gives you an opportunity to break it up a little bit. But at the end of the day, the Big Ten is what it is, man. It's a lot of teams with a lot of talent, a lot of good coaches. And it starts tonight for us with Minnesota, who's, a talented team with Garcia and Mike Mitchell Jr. So we got to come and commit for 40 minutes. That's what it's all about each time you step out on this floor in the Big Ten, man, because any team can beat you.
How does Ben Johnson's team play? Do they play a little bit different this year than they did a year ago?
A little bit. They're shooting the three ball. They'll press some, which they've done in the past to us. They played some zone. it's hard to say what teams do until you actually get into the game. I mean, we watch film and see how they play other teams, but teams change up, and you just got to be ready to adjust on the fly.
Dawson Garcia's been, it seems like he's been there forever, 3 years, I think, now after transferring from North Carolina, but he's a big factor.
He is. I mean, he's a leading scorer. His numbers are up from last season. He really got off to a great start, and, he's a guy that we really got to focus in on along with Mitchell. And, their supporting cast. I mean, they got players that can make things happen on both ends of the floor, so we just got to come committed.
Any of their newcomers that impress you?
I mean, they all pretty good. I mean, in a lot of these teams, we're all in the same boat. We're trying to adjust with the new guys and get them up to speed, and they're no different. They're still work in progress too, as well as all the other teams in the Big Ten, man. So it's just who gets it done the quickest is how I look at it.
Where are you health-wise now, Coach?
Well, Gabe won't play. We'll get Kane and Carlisle back. Other than that, everybody's healthy and ready to go.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Mike Woodson, the head coach's report. We'll be back with a scouting report from Hunter Bloomington Properties on this Minnesota Ball Club in a moment. This is IU Basketball on the Carosaurus Radio Network from Learfield.
Subaru is Consumer Reports' 2024 Best Mainstream Automotive Brand and has earned more IIHS Top Safety Awards than any other brand since 2013. With 96% of all Subarus sold in the past 10 years still on the road and over 7 million Subarus built right here in Indiana, you know you're getting a quality vehicle. Royal Subaru has been serving Bloomington, Indiana for over 40 years. Visit us today at our East 3rd Street location or at royaleastsubaru.com. Introducing Hoosier Game Day Lager, the official craft beer of Indiana University Athletics. Brewed by Upland Brewing Company in Bloomington, this smooth, refreshing beer embodies Hoosier pride with iconic cream and crimson candy stripes. It's the perfect companion for every game. Whether you're cheering in Memorial Stadium, Assembly Hall, or watching from home, IU Athletics are always better with beer. Find Hoosier Game Day Lager at Upland's 9 family-friendly locations, your local liquor store, neighborhood bar, and everywhere Upland beers are sold. Upland Brewing Company reminds you to drink responsibly. Go Hoosiers!
Have you been injured at work? Contact Golitko and Daly, the Indiana work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. There's nothing easy about work injury cases. At Golitko and Daly, we focus on work-related injury cases and have board-certified and OSHA-trained trial lawyers to help you with your case. Find us at indianaworkers.com. Golitko and Daly, your Indiana work injury lawyers. At Golitko and Daly, we go to work when you can't.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Get back in the game. As the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of IU Athletics, IU Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Specialists are dedicated to caring for injured athletes. From the